These legs, TSK, TSK, TSK. So white. At Goody University, downstairs in the girls' dormitory, Lu Jiuzhang glanced at his roommate next to him with a look of disgust. What do you mean by that look? The one next to you is white. Real or fake? Let me see. Damn, it's really white. The roommate smacked his lips and said, Lao Lu, you still have good taste. Looking like a loser. Lu Jiuzhang shook his head. He had given up on his college roommate who had been single for more than 20 years and had never even held a girl's hand. Tap, tap, tap. At this time, a burst of footsteps came. Downstairs in the girls' dormitory, a woman wearing high heels, fancy dress, and heavy makeup walked towards Lu Jiuzhang. This woman is Lu Jiuzhang's current girlfriend, named Chu Han, but she is about to become a thing of the past. What are you doing with me on such a hot day? Chu Han put his hands on his hips, with an impatient look on his face. If you want to give me a gift, give it to me now. It's such a hot day, and if you don't mind being exposed to the sun, I won't mind it either. Chu Han knew Lu Jiuzhang very well. He wanted to stick to her every day, no matter how small or small. I guess I bought another gift to give to her. Take last year's winter vacation as an example. Lu Jiuzhang didn't go home during the new year. He went to an electronics factory in a southern coastal city to work for a month and bought her a new Apple mobile phone. 1T memory, Yuan phone blue. She was extremely happy at that time, but now it is a little different. She is no longer the ignorant little girl before. On such a hot day, what gift cannot be given at night? It has to be at noon? Let's break up, Lu Jiuzhang said directly. What? Break up? Lu Jiuzhang, did you take the wrong medicine? Chu Han was shocked. So the person who licks will actually take the initiative to break up? Isn't this a joke? That's right, it's a breakup. Remember, I dumped you. After Lu Jiuzhang said this, he turned to leave. Stop. Chu Han was furious. Did I offend you? Why did we break up? I've never done anything to feel sorry for you. Really not? Lu Jiuzhang sneered and took out his mobile phone and opened the comment area of Chuan's homepage video on Douyin. Netizens asked you in the comment area whether you were single. How did you answer? You said you have been single for a long time and have never been in love. What's going on? They're all my big brothers in the live broadcast room, and I want to remain single. Chu Han defended. If they knew that I had a boyfriend, would they still give me rewards? Then how do you explain why you and your biggest brother in the live broadcast room went out for dinner yesterday and didn't come back all night? Lu Jiuzhang asked. I haven't been home all night. Chu Han obviously felt guilty, but she still said forcefully. Who do you think I am? Why don't I just go out for a meal? And then tonight we watched a movie together, and then it was too late, and I was living outside and didn't do anything. Are you too cautious? Why do you have to control me? Even interfere with my private life? Being with you is so tiring. I feel like I have no personal space at all. Chu Han beat him backwards, which was her specialty. The more critical this moment is, the less you can give in. Otherwise, if you feel guilty first, wouldn't you lose? I went to your live broadcast brother's homepage and took a look. He posted a hotel video. I clearly saw a girl's underwear on the bed. Lu Jiuzhang said calmly. Those seem to be your clothes, right? My underwear is exposed. Is there anything else to explain? Lu Jiuzhang is not angry, and there is nothing to be angry about. There is no need to be angry with such a person. It is purely to ruin his mood. In the past, Lu Jiuzhang also felt that as long as you were willing to be nice to a girl, you would be rewarded. It seems now that the better you treat her, the more aggressive she will be. Chu Han also wanted to defend. Things are not what you think, Before she finished speaking, she was interrupted by Lu Jiuzhang. Let's break up. What's the point of talking so much? It's not the first time that you and your brother, who is ranked #1 in the live broadcast room, have gone out. When the matter was revealed, Chu Han was a little angry. He wanted to defend Lu Jiuzhang again, but he didn't expect that he was determined to break up. Let's have a showdown. Chu Han stopped pretending. Let's break up. Let me tell you, Lu Jiuzhang, the top brother in my live broadcast room, is much richer than you, a poor student. He saw the necklace around my neck. Swarovski, more than 6,000 yuan. People can make thousands of dollars just for free, and they also gave me tens of thousands of dollars in rewards in my live broadcast room. How about you? Buy me a new mobile phone, and you have to work for a month during the summer vacation? You are so poor. Why should I be with you? I have seen so much of the world with my brother in the live broadcast room. Lu Jiuzhang, do you think you are worthy of me? Lu Jiuzhang shook his head. This woman was hopeless. She was stunned. Whether you deserve it or not, we will have nothing to do with each other in the future. Lu Jiuzhang looked at the mobile phone in Chu Han's hand. Give me back the mobile phone and the things I bought for you. Mobile phone? No, really, you bought it for me, and you want to take it back. Chu Han looked incredulous. I bought it for you because I want to be with you for a long time, and even get married. Do you think you are still worthy of it now? Lu Jiuzhang said. Not only mobile phones, but also computers and tablets. And those gifts, please return them all. Those things given away were given for the purpose of marriage. In other words, it is the gift of love. Is there still love now? I'll give it to you. What's the big deal? Chu Han was so angry that he directly restored the phone to factory settings and threw it to Lu Jiuzhang. Then she turned and went upstairs. About half an hour later, she came down with a large box of things and threw it in front of Lu Jiuzhang. Then, Chu Han turned and left. Isn't it? Lao Lu, are we really separated? His roommate was watching from the side just now. He wanted to persuade him, but he felt that Chu Han was going too far, so he kept silent. Why did I call you here? Come on, help me move. Lu Jiuzhang and his roommate carried the box and walked towards their dormitory. All the useless things were thrown away, and all the things that could be sold secondhand were sold. This box of gifts can be sold for thousands of dollars at least. It was all earned by Lu Jiuzhang from his summer job at that time, which was so exhausting that he almost died. He didn't expect that he would end up like this now. Got green. No, to say that he was raped was because the previous owner of this body was raped. Last night, the previous owner knew about this scene, drank too much, and finally fell unconscious. Lu Jiuzhang traveled through time and became the new owner of this body. After adapting to this world and his new body, the first thing Lu Jiuzhang did was to get ahead of Chu Han and get rid of Chu Han. I even asked for the gift back. It's not that Lu Jiuzhang is stingy. If they break up peacefully, Lu Jiuzhang will definitely not take this gift back and just give it away. But for someone like Chu Han, these things would be a waste of resources for her to use. Also, the previous owner of this body was too licky, and Lu Jiuzhang couldn't stand it anymore. Since he came from time travel, he couldn't live in such a miserable state anymore. Ding, congratulations to the host for showing his masculinity. As a man, you should never be indecisive, and you should avoid being disturbed by it. A voice suddenly sounded in Lu Jiuzhang's mind, and then a virtual blue screen that only he could see appeared in front of him. Given that the host grasps the true meaning of life, the system begins to bind. This system is a perfect life system, and its purpose is to help the host build a strong and perfect life. Ding, the binding is successful. Please complete the first phase of the task and borrow 10,000 yuan from school beauty Lin Wanner. After the mission is completed, the host will be rewarded with 100 million Chinese coins. The mission has a 3-day deadline. If it cannot be completed within the time limit, the mission has failed. Host, please hurry up. A voice sounded in Lu Jiuzhang's mind. Borrow 10,000 yuan from school beauty Lin Wanner. What a scam. This is it. The school beauty Lin Wanner and Lu Jiuzhang are not familiar at all. Okay? Lu Jiuzhang quickly searched for memories about him in his mind. Although Lin Wanner was Lu Jiuzhang's classmate, she was actually not much different from a stranger. One is a high-ranking school beauty, and the other is an ordinary college student. Although they are in the same class, they don't have much intersection. The only intersection in my memory was when Lu Jiuzhang was a sophomore in college and had a friend who wanted to chase Lin Wanner and was going to give her a bouquet of flowers, but class was about to begin at that time, so he asked Lu Jiuzhang to give it to Lin Wanner. Lu Jiuzhang originally didn't intend to do such an embarrassing thing, but the other party gave him too much. At first, the other party only offered 200 yuan. Lu Jiuzhang sat down and raised the price and asked the other party for 500 yuan. Seeing that class was about to begin, the other party had no choice but to agree. At that time, Lu Jiuzhang's monthly living expenses were only 1,000 yuan, and 500 yuan was equivalent to half a month's living expenses. Only a fool would not do it. The last bouquet of flowers was thrown into the trash, can by Lin Wanner. Although Lu Jiuzhang was embarrassed, he was just an errand boy. After receiving 500 yuan, Lu Jiuzhang was happy for a long time. Apart from this, it seemed that there was no communication between him and Lin Wanner. The classes in the Idol TV series often organize outings and parties. In fact, Lu Jiuzhang's class organized several outings and parties when he was a freshman, but fewer and fewer people participated later. The squad leader was too lazy to organize anymore. Lin Wanner seemed to have never attended those gatherings in her memory. The question is, what excuse should I use to get close to Lin Wanner now? Ding dong. At this time, Lu Jiuzhang's cell phone rang. It's news from the class group. The counselor said in the class group that there will be a class meeting in 20 minutes, and he has something to explain. Lu Jiuzhang looked at his roommates and said, The class meeting is about to begin. Shall we go there now? Lu Jiuzhang's dormitory is a quadruple room. It was Zhao Chuan who went with him to the downstairs of the girls' dormitory to look for his ex-girlfriend Chu Han at noon today. There is also a guy named Li Tao who wears glasses and is playing a game in bed right now. He has been playing King of Glory for 2 or 3 years. The highest rank is Star Glory, and he can't even reach King. However, he is still very fascinated by the game. The remaining one, Wang Hai, is already working and interning abroad. Thanks to their connections, his parents found him a large private company in the ancient capital, where the salary was pretty good. Isn't there still about 20 minutes left? Zhao Chuan shook his head and said, "Let me rest for a while and wait until 5 or 6 minutes before the last meeting." They are now senior students, and their lives are mostly scattered. Those school rules and regulations may be very important to freshmen, but most senior students don't take them seriously. As long as they don't violate particularly serious school rules, it doesn't matter if they occasionally miss a class or are late for a moment. Okay, I'll go first. A few minutes later, Lu Jiuzhang stood in front of a classroom door. Summary C, 502. This is the classroom. Seeing the door number, Lu Jiuzhang opened the door and walked in. There were some classmates in the classroom, but not many. After finding a seat at the back, Lu Jiuzhang sat down, took out his mobile phone, and started playing. The original owner was miserable. There was a crack on the phone and the screen was broken, but he still kept using it. Opening the mobile payment software, Lu Jiuzhang took a look and saw that there was a balance of 160 yuan on Alipay, and Huabei owed 674 yuan. He had also withdrawn all the 500 yuan in reserve and had to pay it back tomorrow. In WeChat, there is still 74 yuan and 8 cents. This is too poor. The balance is not yet owed, and there is a lot of money. With just such a small amount of money, if you still buy this and that for the scumbag Chu Han, aren't you asking for trouble? If you lick a dog, you deserve it. If you lick a dog, you will die. Lu Jiuzhang cursed in his heart. After finishing his scolding, Lu Jiuzhang nervously looked at the door to see when Lin Wanner would arrive. You need to borrow 10,000 yuan from her to activate the system. But how should you ask her? Excuse that your parents are seriously ill? Lu Jiuzhang shook his head, forgetting this excuse. How could anyone curse his parents like this? It's okay to use the excuse that your roommate is seriously ill. Anyway, in my impression, the boys in the dormitory were always in trouble. If the system can be activated by then, help these people more, introduce more beautiful sisters to them, let alone curse them to become seriously ill, or even curse them to be paralyzed, I guess those people will be happy too. Anyway, it's just a curse. It won't become true. The girls are the real deal. They have been single for so many years and have become craftsmen. Lu Jiuzhang looked at the door, eager to see through. Dung dung dung. A rapid ringing sounded. Class begins. The class meeting was scheduled for 3:10 in the afternoon. At this time, most of the people had arrived, and there were still a few people who had not come. Lin Wanner was among the few people. What's the situation? I have the impression that Lin Wanner is very active in class. Why are you late today? Or maybe she has something to do and has already asked for leave. Damn it, if this is really the case, it will be troublesome. It seems that there is no chance to complete the task today. Lu Jiuzhang felt tormented in his heart. The counselor had already entered the classroom, looked around, saw that almost everyone had arrived, and started to talk. The content mentioned is nothing more than the situation related to filling in the files. Squeak! Lu Jiuzhang, who was sitting in the back row, suddenly heard a slight sound of the door opening. The back door of the classroom was opened a crack, and Lin Wanner sneaked in quietly. She didn't dare sit in the front, so she looked around at the back row and saw a couple sitting on the left. It's obviously inappropriate to sit next to a couple. People get tired of being together. Isn't she like a light bulb? There is an empty seat on the right. There are 4 or 5 seats there, but only one boy from the class is sitting there. Lin Wanner walked forward quickly and sat next to Lu Jiuzhang. She had jogged all the way here just now, and now her face was slightly red and she was breathing lightly. Lin Wanner's family background is not particularly good, but it is not bad either. My parents run a big hotel and earn a lot of money every month. It's her birthday today, and she just had a video call with her mother, which was a waste of time. For her birthday today, her mother gave her a 2,000 red envelope, and her father gave her a 3,000 red envelope. Her brother and sister, who were already working, also transferred some money to her respectively. Including her friends and cousins, Lin Wanner checked her WeChat wallet and found that she had almost 10,500 yuan. Lin Wanner plans to use the money to travel and see the great places of the motherland when she graduates. Lin Wanner snorted, realizing that the classmate sitting next to her had been staring at her. Lin Wanner had some impressions about the name of this classmate. It seemed that his name was Lu Jiuzhang. He was a very honest person in the past. Is something wrong? Lin Wanner asked proactively. Lu Jiuzhang was asked and didn't know what to say. He simply borrowed the donkey from the slope and said, "Classmate Lin, a roommate was injured. It was quite serious. He was hit by a motorcycle last night. A rental. It was so miserable. He flew out. There was a huge pool of blood on the ground. The roommate also fell into a coma and hasn't woken up yet. But his family's conditions were average, and he didn't dare to tell his parents. And his parents, those who work at home with their backs to the sky and face the lust, cannot make much money. The rest of our roommates have pooled together some money to help him, but there are still some shortcomings. See if you can lend me some." Lu Jiuzhang asked cautiously. Lin Wanner didn't react for a while. "Well, it's my birthday today." "For your birthday, your family and friends must have transferred a lot of money to you, right? Lend me some, and I will pay you back when the time comes. I'll take my head. I swear on my degree." Lu Jiuzhang said hurriedly. "That's not what I meant." Lin Wanner quickly explained. What she meant was that it was her birthday today, and others were transferring money to her and sending her red envelopes. There were also many strangers whom she did not know who transferred large amounts of money to her. Lin Wanner confiscated it. "Today is a good day to collect money. Why do you suddenly need to borrow money?" This reversal was a bit too big, and Lin Wanner didn't react. "My roommate is also in our class. His name is Wang Hai. You should have an impression, right? Such an honest child was injured like this. He is still lying in a coma in the hospital. If it were later, he would really die." Lu Jiuzhang said pitifully, because he knew Lin Wanner's character. "In my memory, Lin Wanner, although she looked cold, was still very kind-hearted. Several times, Lu Jiuzhang saw her feeding stray cats from a distance on campus. Lu Jiuzhang felt uncomfortable at the thought of defrauding the other party of money. But for the system tasks, I fought hard. Classmate Wang Hai is indeed a good person." Lin Wanner hesitated for a moment. "I remember that he helped me move books before, but for 10,000 yuan. Lin Wanner thought it was too much. If it was 100, 200, or even 1,000, 2,000, she would borrow it if she felt like it. Even if she didn't pay it back, it would be okay." Lin Wanner was undecided, but when she heard that her classmates were so miserable, she couldn't bear it. "Let's do this. I'll guarantee it with my mobile phone." Lu Jiuzhang took out his mobile phone and put it on the table. The old mobile phone still had a crack, so it looked awkward. Damn it. Lu Jiuzhang wanted to scold the former owner of this body again. He is so picky about himself and won't replace his cell phone even after it is so bad, but he is very generous to the scumbag Chuhan. He even buys her the latest Apple model. This tattered mobile phone probably won't fetch much secondhand, but it can be replaced with a basin or a kitchen knife or something. It's really chilling to put it here as a mortgage. "Forget it, I'll use my ID card as collateral." Lu Jiuzhang said. "I'll write you another IOU. We major in financial management and have studied economic law, which specifically talks about IOUs, and they are legally binding. I have the IOU and my ID card. Once I don't pay you back, you can call the police or file a lawsuit in court." Lu Jiuzhang said hurriedly. "But I still want to travel after graduation. Can I lend you $5,000? Lin Wanner was about to cry. Lu Jiuzhang suddenly discovered that this aloof school beauty in the eyes of others was actually quite innocent. She also has a good personality. She actually believed such a simple and flawed excuse. "Classmate Lin." Lu Jiuzhang became serious. "My classmate was seriously injured and is unconscious in the hospital. And you are still thinking about traveling. Is traveling not as important as the lives of your classmates?" After repeated questioning, Lin Wanner could only cry and said, "Then you must remember to pay me back. If you don't pay me back, I will call the police and let the police arrest you." Lin Wanner clicked on the class WeChat group, then clicked on Lu Jiuzhang's avatar and added Lu Jiuzhang's friends on the spot. After Lu Jiuzhang agreed to add a friend, Lin Wanner transferred 10,000 yuan. Looking at the 500 yuan left in her WeChat wallet, Lin Wanner felt uncomfortable. It was even more uncomfortable to use the 500 yuan until graduation. "Looks like I'll have to be frugal in the next 2 weeks. Ding, a qualified rich man must learn to borrow debt. The richer the person, the more debt he has. Hung Tai has a debt of 2 trillion, and the richest man, Wang, once had a debt of 700 billion. Well, the above are negative cases. In fact, major listed companies have different liabilities. As long as the liabilities are controlled within a reasonable range, they can help themselves and even their own enterprises develop better. The host successfully borrowed the first amount of money, and 100 million Chinese coins have arrived. Please pay attention to the host and check it. Ding! Since the host has completed the task for the first time, the host will be rewarded with a large gift package. Would the host open it? A series of sounds sounded from the system. Do richer people have more debt? This seems to be the truth. If you want to develop, how can you develop without borrowing money? Once you miss some opportunities, you will regret it. At the same time, Lu Jiuzhong received a text message. Your savings card with the last number 2905 received an income of 100 million yuan at 3:16 on May 22nd, and the current balance is 100 million yuan, Construction Investment Bank. 100 million just arrived? It's so cool. The moment the text message on her phone rang, Lin Warner also glanced over. There are so many zeros. Are they fraudulent text messages? Lin Warner said, have you not downloaded the National Anti-Fraud app? Be careful of being deceived. There are too many scammers these days, and there are men who pretend to be girls, seduce men with tea, and defraud you of your money. It's so perverted and disgusting. Lin Warner felt that she had the obligation to remind her classmates so that they would not be deceived. Bang, bang, bang. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Lu Jiuzhong's roommates Zhao Chuan and Li Tao filed in, followed by Wang Hai. Damn it, why is this guy Wang Hai back? Isn't he working as an intern? It's over. Now the lie is about to be exposed. Isn't classmate Wang Hai hospitalized? This is... Lin Warner reacted instantly, and with a straight face, she questioned Lu Jiuzhong. Hey, just kidding, I just want to see if the friendship between our four-year college classmates is worth 10,000 yuan. Lu Jiuzhong smiled bitterly and made an excuse. A joke? Do you know how worried I was just now? Lin Warner said angrily. My classmate was seriously injured. I see you are so serious about borrowing money from everywhere. I think you have worked so hard. As a classmate, I even feel that the money is not enough. If so, I will ask my parents for as much money as I can. I have to help my four-year college classmate. I can't let him lose his life at such a young age. Lin Warner started to sob as she spoke, sobbing quietly. In front of the classroom, several roommates walked in carelessly. Zhao Chuan, we have graduated soon, and you are still so lazy? The counselor rolled his eyes at a few people. Don't waste everyone's time. We are talking about file issues right now. Yes, instructor. We must pay attention to it in the future. Zhao Chuan laughed and ran to the back row of the classroom with Li Tao and Wang Hai. What the hell was going on? This kid Lu Jiuzhong actually sat with the school beauty, and the school beauty even cried. Li Tao looked incredulous. This kid won't bully our school beauty, right? Didn't Lao Lu just break up with Chuhan at noon? Why are you hooking up with the school beauty now? Zhao Chuan was heartbroken. That's the school beauty. How many boys in school have their dream girls? In 4 years of college, no one has succeeded. Unexpectedly, Lu Jiuzhong actually made the school beauty cry. Lao Lu broke up? He hooked up with the school beauty again? Brothers, I haven't been back for a few days. So many dramas have happened. Damn, it's really a heifer chasing a bull, so awesome. Wang Hai didn't know that he had just been raped. Lu Jiuzhong cursed, feeling that his roommate was too fierce. Ahem. Then, let's not disturb Lao Lu and sit somewhere else. Zhao Chuan reminded. Their voices were extremely low and did not attract the attention of others. Later, Zhao Chuan, Li Tao, and Wang Hai crowded together with other students. Everyone lowered their heads to write files and only heard the rustling of the pen tip. What, it's really my fault? I'm sorry. Lu Jiuzhong felt increasingly guilty. When a girl cries, he can't resist it. But Lu Jiuzhong didn't know how to coax a girl. How about I treat you to dinner? Lin Warner didn't respond. Shall I invite you to watch a movie? Shall I invite you to go out to play? After making several suggestions in succession, Lin Warner still didn't respond, just lying on the table and sobbing. Too difficult. Lu Jiuzhong had no choice but to pat Lin Warner and close to her ear. Stop crying. The counselor is here. Lin Warner hurriedly wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes, then raised her head, only to find that the counselor was still sitting on the podium, playing with her mobile phone with her head down. You! Unexpectedly, she was deceived by Lu Jiuzhong again. Lin Warner became even more angry. Lu Jiuzhong, can you stop lying to me all the time? Even when questioning, Lin Warner lowered her voice specifically, fearing to attract the attention of other students. It's my fault, just don't be angry. Lu Jiuzhong said, the 10,000 yuan was transferred back to you, so why don't you return my ID card to me and tear up the IOU too? I can tear up the IOU, but I can't return your ID card. Lin Warner said angrily. You lied to me twice in a row. If I don't teach you a lesson, I don't know how many innocent girls you will lie to in the future. Don't worry. It's not that I won't give it to you. It depends on your sincerity and attitude of correction. Lin Weiner said seriously. This? Lu Jiuzhong was stunned for a moment. But I still want to book a room tonight. I made a mistake. I want to open an esports hotel where I can play hacker and LOL with my roommates. In my memory, this was discussed before. Let's see if I believe you. Lin Weiner glared at Lu Jiuzhong, then picked up the pen and started writing on the file. Don't disturb me, I want to fill in the file. There's a lot of previous information on the file, as well as evaluations of yourself and the like. There are a lot of words to write. Lu Jiuzhong had no choice but to fill in his own. At the end of the class meeting, the counselor will put these away, and a lot of time has been wasted. On the other side, in the girls' dormitory, Chu Han and Lu Jiuzhong were from the same college, but they were not in the same major. At this moment, she felt extremely uncomfortable, and she really wanted to post on WeChat moments to accuse those inferior men. And then add, after all, I was the one who shouldered everything. Isn't it just a breakup? All those things were given away, but I actually had the nerve to take them back. How stingy. After groping around on the bed, Chu Han remembered that he had returned his mobile phone to Lu Jiuzhong. It seems that the computer has been returned to Lu Jiuzhong. Tablets too. At this moment, I can't even contact the top brother on the list. Fortunately, she still remembered the phone number of the top brother on the list. Wang Xian, lend me your mobile phone, and I'll make a call. Chu Han said to his roommate in the opposite bunk. No, here you go. The roommate in the opposite bunk handed over his cell phone. Chu Han picked up the phone and walked towards the balcony. After pressing a line of numbers on the button, Chu Han dialed. The phone rang for 4 or 5 seconds and was answered. Hello. On the other end of the phone, a middle-aged man's voice rang. Husband, Chu Han said angrily. Speak humanly, don't yell nonsense. I'm in a meeting right now. A serious voice sounded on the other end of the phone. There seemed to be a faint sound of a woman's gasping. Are you in a meeting right now? Chu Han doesn't believe it. It's obvious that the eldest brother on the list has another woman around him. Also, isn't it true that rich people like this are surrounded by all kinds of girls? For a moment, Chu Han seemed to regret it. Although the eldest brother on the list is rich, he often ignores himself. Lu Jiuzhong, on the other hand, was always on call. If I could hang on to Lu Jiuzhong all the time, how great would it be to be with the number 1 brother on the list? By then, I would have stayed with the number 1 brother for a long time. Even if I was dumped by the number 1 brother on the list, Lu Jiuzhong would still take over. The main blame is that Lu Jiuzhong was too arrogant and actually found out, leading to the current situation. She never puts the blame on herself and always thinks it's someone else's fault. But what she didn't know was that Lu Jiuzhong was no longer the same Lu Jiuzhong as before. I'll forward it to you on WeChat and you can buy it yourself. Remember, don't call me when I'm working. I'll go find you in the evening to talk about work. After saying that, before Chu Han could reply, Brother Bang hung up the phone. When hanging up the phone, Chu Han also heard a strange sound coming from the phone. Little Lang Huzi seduces her husband all day long. Chu Han cursed, then inserted his mobile phone SIM card into his roommate's mobile phone and logged into WeChat. When he saw the 6,000 yuan red envelope transferred, all Chu Han's depression disappeared. This money is enough to buy a new mobile phone. Let's buy an apple. She has a soft spot for apples. Thinking of this, Chu Han left the dormitory and took his roommate to go shopping to buy a new mobile phone on the pretext that his phone was broken. Because I need it urgently, it is naturally impossible to shop online at this time. Otherwise, how long will it take to wait for the express to come back? Please fill in your name, ethnicity, age. There are also 8 semesters in college, with some situations in each semester. The award column stipulated that at least it should be a school-level award, so Lu Jiuzhong filled in none. As for self-evaluation, just write it casually. Of course, write more good words and then mention 2 trivial shortcomings. After about half an hour or so, the counselor got up and moved around. Playing with your mobile phone in the same position for a long time can easily cause neck discomfort. The counselor shook his head and hit the back of his neck with his right hand. If you have filled it out, hand it to the person next to you. The person next to you will fill in the classmate, class leader, evaluation, and then hand it to another classmate and let him fill in the counselor's evaluation. Be careful. Don't write it yourself. The handwriting cannot be the same. Also, when writing, try to find a classmate with good handwriting to fill it in for you. This is a file, and it will stay with you for life. There is also the most important reason that the counselor did not mention. If the handwriting is too ugly, he will feel embarrassed. It's not like no one reads these files. If it's a public examination, etc., the file will be mentioned to the unit, and people in the unit will take a few glances. What if someone at work sees your name and discovers that the handwriting of good university counselor so-and-so is so ugly, and you were laughed at? Lin Wano looked around and found that everyone was busy. She had no choice but to hand her file to Lu Jiuzhong. You fill it in for me, and I'll fill it in for you. Good. Lu Jiuzhong took the file and took a look at Lin Wano's self-evaluation. I have been studying hard for 4 years in college, and my grades in professional courses are at the top of my grade. I have participated in many clubs and school activities and have won. This girl writes quite seriously. However, Lu Jiuzhong could not deny that Lin Weiner's 4 years of college were extremely outstanding and eye-catching. She is not a silver-colored pewter gunhead. She only relies on her appearance. On the contrary, during these 4 years of college, she has been trying to downplay her appearance advantages, for example, cutting her long flowing hair into a short hairstyle. As a result, after cutting my hair short, I still look very beautiful and have a heroic feeling. More people are pursuing it. Later, Lin Wanner gave up on dressing up as she should and continued to grow her long hair. Now her hair is long and waist-length, and the ends are elegant. Puff! Suddenly, Lin Wano laughed out loud. She almost died laughing when she read Lu Jiuzhong's personal comments. Why do you only write about your own merits? Moreover, you also put all the merits on you? Especially this one, honesty and trustworthiness. Do you think you are honest and trustworthy? Lin Wanner looked at Lu Jiuzhong and asked. Of course. I borrowed money and then paid it back. How honest? Lu Jiuzhong affirmed. How many people have borrowed money, let alone paid it back? All of them have disappeared. Lin Weiner said. What about you lying to me? You didn't mention it at all. It's a misunderstanding, a misunderstanding, Lu Jiuzhong said with a bitter smile. It's not a lie. It's just a joke between classmates. Then you lied to me and said the counselor was here. It's a joke too. Can this be called cheating? Then what is cheating? Cheating for money and sex is called cheating. I paid you back the money, and I didn't cheat on you for sex. I'm such an honest person, but you actually called me a liar. Unknowingly, Lin Wanner's mood gradually improved. Lu Jiuzhong breathed a long sigh of relief. OMG, coaxing girls is really a technical job. Why do you say that a scumbag is awesome? His tricks to coax girls are beyond the reach of ordinary people. But those girls still love her to death. Since ancient times, deep love cannot be retained. Only tricks can win people's hearts. Lu Jiuzhong sighed. By the time get out of class was over, the files were almost filled out. After handing the file back, Lu Jiuzhong looked at Lin Weiner. How is it? Can you give me back your ID card? Not yet. I'm still angry. I have to think carefully about how you can compensate me. Lin Weiner said. Can't you please have dinner? It's not sincere. It's perfunctory to treat me to dinner. Let's do this. I want to take graduation photos tonight, and you will be my royal photographer. Lin Wanner thought for a while, and then said, Photographer? Lu Jiuzhong doesn't understand this either. When the time comes, go back to the dormitory and study more. Then you will have to bite the bullet. Then it's settled. Contact us via WeChat tonight. Lin Wanner shook her phone, smiled playfully, and left the classroom. After Lin Wanner left, the people in the dormitory quickly gathered around. If you confess, you will be lenient. If you resist, you will be lenient. When did you, Lao Lu, hook up with our school beauty? Lao Lu, I thought you must be sad after the breakup, so I invited you to drink tonight to drown your sorrows. I didn't expect you to turn your back and get single again, and even do it to the school beauty, Lin Wanner. Lao Lu, you are dishonest. You can't live with this matter for 2 days. How about this, Lao Lu? Invite Lin Wanner and her roommates out, and let's have a social event before graduation. What if we singles also have a chance? Wouldn't it be nice to seduce her roommates in the dormitory? Yes, we will have a graduation trip when we graduate. Let's go out and play together. Zhao Chuan, Li Tao, and Wang Hai started chatting. Lu Jiuzhong was a little confused. Let's talk about it. Besides, Lin Wanner and I are really not boyfriend and girlfriend. We just added WeChat. If you don't believe me, take a look. Lu Jiuzhong took out his phone. Damn it. Did Lin Wanner transfer money to you? Dear sister, you not only cheated on sex, but also cheated on money? It hurts my heart. I am such an honest person. Why does Lin Wanner look down on me? The three of them looked distressed. I just borrowed the money to make a living. Didn't you see that I transferred it back to others? Lu Jiuzhong said. I saw it, but you are very brave to ask the school beauty to borrow money. Zhao Chuan sighed. How about I become your teacher, and you can teach me? If you don't accept an apprentice, it would be good if you accept a godson. Lu Jiuzhang said with a smile. F***ku. Don't go too far. Zhao Chuan had a dark face. It was obvious that he had been taken advantage of. Master and disciple are like father and son. What's the difference between you becoming your master and being my son? Lu Jiuzhang asked. It seems that there is really no difference. How about changing the term and hiring you as my emotional consultant? Give me money? Brothers are quarreling over money. Don't talk about money, but talk about a hammer. Amidst bursts of laughter, everyone returned to the dormitory. Lu Jiuzhang was lying on the bed, scrolling through Douyin, ready to search to see if there were any practical shooting composition tips. In fact, Lin Wanner is so beautiful that she looks beautiful in any photo taken. But everyone has said so Lu Jiuzhang has to put in some effort, right? What if after taking the photo, people think it doesn't look good and don't accept it? By the way, I forgot something. Lu Jiuzhang muttered to himself. He obtained the system, but he still had a gift package for newbies that he had yet to receive. There were too many things to do just now, so I didn't take care of them. And it also received 100 million funds. How should this 100 million funds be spent? Open the novice gift package. Lu Jiuzhang said silently. Ding, the big gift package has been opened. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the 10 times income card. The income obtained by the host on the day can be multiplied by 10, but it must be within the legal range. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the palace-level photography technology, palace-level art criticism knowledge, and palace-level music theory. Knowledge, palace-level musical skills. Plenty of rewards appear. For a moment, Lu Jiuzhang felt that there were countless contents in his mind. A large amount of systematic and cutting-edge knowledge is integrated with Lu Jiuzhang's memory. It took several minutes before Lu Jiuzhang came back to his senses. Unexpectedly, the second reward in the novice gift package is the art of photography. Then I won't have to worry about taking pictures of Lin Wanner tonight. At the same time, Lu Jiuzhang's cell phone rang again. Your debit card with the last number 2905 earned 1 billion yuan at 5:46 on May 22nd, and the current balance is 1,100 million yuan, Construction Investment Bank. Damn it, another billion has arrived. Now, Lu Jiuzhang's account has 1.1 billion. It's so cool. It's time to replace this shabby cell phone and get a luxury sports car at your fingertips. I glanced at my phone and saw a video posted by a blogger explaining photography composition skills. Just now, Lu Jiuzhang felt that it was quite reasonable and what he said was really good, but now he feels that there are some loopholes in it. With his hands itching, Lu Jiuzhang replied in the comment area. There are too many foregrounds in the photo, too few fill-in-the-blanks, and the field of view is not broad enough. Although the main scene is in a prominent area, there are too many background scenes, making it eye-catching. After the comment, Lu Jiuzhang glanced at the time. It was already around 6 o'clock in the afternoon. I went out to cook first. After finishing the meal, I cleaned up a little and then probably went out to take pictures for Lin Wanner. Just as Lu Jiuzhang was about to get up, his roommate Wang Hai couldn't help but walk towards the door. Old Wang, are you going to eat? Bring me one. Li Tao said hurriedly. I want it too, Lao Wang. I want Kung Pao chicken rice bowl, and asked the rice cooker to stop shaking her hands. They are graduating soon. Can't they give me some more meat? Zhao Chuan echoed. Wang Hai glared at the two of them. Let Dad bring food every day, so I won't have unfilial sons like you. Damn it, son. You still want to take advantage of Dad? My dear grandson, your dad is ignorant. Don't argue with your dad. Grandpa must put more meat in his Kung Pao chicken. Go to hell? Wang Hai cursed, then looked at Lu Jiuzhang. Lao Lu, what about you? Do you want to go to the cafeteria with me to eat? Or should I bring it to you? Don't go to the canteen. Let's go out to eat tonight. Lu Jiuzhang glanced at the balance of his mobile banking account. There was a balance of more than 1 billion in his account. What kind of food could he not afford? I have something to do for a while, so I'm going out. I'll be back at 8 or 9 in the evening. Let's go out for a drink. As soon as these words came out, everyone nodded, and Zhao Chuan even said, it should have been like this a long time ago. You dumped the scumbag Chu Han, and you want to be with Lin University's beauty again. This is called double happiness. Not inviting me to dinner is unjustifiable. Don't talk nonsense. I'm not with Lin Wanner. I'll go out to do errands first, and my sons will wait for me in the dormitory. Lu Jiuzhang trotted out of the dormitory door. Behind him, there were the voices of roommates cursing. On the other side, in the girls' dormitory, Lin Wanner was putting on makeup. There is no need to apply heavy makeup. Lin Wanner always only wears light makeup. She is already very beautiful. If the makeup is too thick, it will be superfluous. TSK. Dressed up so beautifully? Why? Are you going on a date today? Lin Wanner's roommate started teasing. No. Lin Wanner quickly denied. Isn't this my graduation soon? I asked a classmate to help me take a group of graduation photos. Classmate? Male? The roommate smiled evilly and said, Our college beauty has finally enlightened and knows how to fall in love. Who is that male classmate? Do I know him? You guess. Lin Wanner smiled playfully, picked up the bag on the table, and walked out of the dormitory door. TSK. The college beauty also started to fall in love secretly. No, I feel itchy if I don't understand this earth-shattering news. The roommates hurriedly followed him downstairs, keeping a safe distance. Downstairs in the girls' dormitory, Lu Jiuzhang waited for a short time. About 3 minutes later, he saw Lin Wanner coming downstairs. Lin Wanner today was obviously dressed up carefully. Lu Jiuzhang's eyes widened. Where should we go to shoot? Lu Jiuzhang asked. Of course it's inside the school for graduation photos. Lin Wanner said, Let's go to the lakeside of the school first, take a few pictures there, and then go to the playground and the teaching building. Good. Lu Jiuzhang nodded, and the two walked forward side by side. After they walked a certain distance, Lin Wanner's roommate showed his head behind the dormitory door and held up a mobile phone. Okay, I finally took the photo. The roommate murmured to himself. Isn't this person Lu Jiuzhang? He looks pretty good, but his family conditions are average. Why did Wanner fall in love with him? The roommate was puzzled, and then shook his head. Whatever, it's Wanner's freedom to be with whomever she wants to be with. Such a beautiful beauty has never been in love, even once in 4 years of college. Now she finally understands, and she can't fall in love with her once. It's too late. There are still 2 weeks left. A relationship is enough. Later, the roommate sent a photo to the class group. Damn it, isn't this the beauty of Lin University? She is actually with a man. In the class group, someone instantly recognized Lin Wanner's back. After all, they usually paid a lot of attention to Lin Wanner. But as for the boy's back, the man only thought he looked familiar, and he couldn't tell who it was for the time being. My heart is broken. Yi Qingjie, the school beauty of Lin University, is the goddess of my dreams. She has been single for 4 years, and now she is in a relationship. Unexpectedly, she will graduate soon, and life will give me a heavy blow. Who is this man? Young people don't have martial ethics, and they manage to get the school bell without saying a word. Damn, I'm going to become a teacher. It won't be a problem to pay for some tuition. I also want to pick up girls. The class group instantly exploded. In dormitory 313, Zhao Chuan is playing games and waiting for Lu Jiuzhang to come back and invite him to dinner. Unexpectedly, one message after another popped up in the class group at this moment. Zhao Chuan clicked in and found that people in the group were discussing that school beauty Lin Wanner was in love. So, Zhao Chuan quickly climbed up the stairs and found the photo. Others don't understand Lu Jiuzhang. Don't they understand him in their own dormitory? Gone. Wang Hai Li Tao, look at the class group. Zhao Chuan said in shock. That guy Lu Jiuzhang actually got the school bell. Damn it, Lu Jiuzhang actually lied to us, saying that he was going out to do errands. Is this the so-called doing errands? This is to be a school beauty. Our bodies are almost close together. Oh, I like Lin Wanner too. I didn't expect that Lu Jiuzhang got there first. I decided that I'm going to get drunk tonight. Anyway, Lu Jiuzhang paid for it, so I want to drink more. Come on, you little bastard. With your little drinking capacity, you can only drink 3 bottles of beer. This photo spread quickly, and many people saw it and were heartbroken. By the lake, Lin Wanner was leaning on a stone. Lu Jiuzhang took a photo, and it turned out to be a beautiful picture. How to say? Beautiful people look good in any photo. Photography skills are actually not that important. On the contrary, only ordinary-looking people need photography skills and constant retouching. In the same way, those who are beautiful and have good figures are just like clothes hangers. They look stunning no matter how they match them. Is it ready so soon? Lin Wanner walked over and said, You don't really take pictures casually, do you? You are beautiful, and every shot you take is full of scenery. Lu Jiuzhang said with a smile. Praising someone so openly will offend others. Lin Wanner laughed. Are you disgusted then? Look at the photos. Lin Wanner walked up to Lu Jiuzhang, took a look at the photos taken by Lu Jiuzhang, and found that the photos were pretty good. Lu Jiuzhang has achieved the art of photography at the palace level. Even if he takes photos casually, the quality of the photos he takes will not be bad. You're quite sweet, Lin Warner said with a smile. Not bad. That's the end of your lie to me. Lin Warner took out Lu Jiuzhang's ID card and said, "This is your ID card. Remember to keep it. Next time you lie to another little girl, don't take it out casually. Ha ha ha. I'm the most honest person, and I won't lie to others." Lu Jiuzhang smiled and put his ID card in his pocket. She only saw an ID card being handed over, but she didn't know whose it belonged to. Lin Warner's roommate, who was peeking from a distance, was stunned. Could it be Lin Warner's? Then what are you doing handing over your ID card? Go to the hotel? Damn it, no way. Is it developing so fast? So exciting? The roommates were frightened. Isn't this too open? She calmed down and continued to peek. By the lake, Lin Warner said, "We have to continue taking pictures. Don't get too happy too early. After taking a few more pictures, let's go to the teaching building. I also brought my bachelor's uniform, so I can just put it on outside in a while." Good. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. The reason I came here this time was to take pictures of Lin Warner. Lu Jiuzhang specially set aside about 2 to 3 hours. After taking pictures, I went to drink with my roommates. As for renting a house, it was just a wild guess made by Lin Warner's roommate. The relationship between the two had not developed to that level yet. In the teaching building, Lu Jiuzhang found a relatively free classroom and helped Lin Warner take pictures. Thanks to Lu Jiuzhang's exquisite craftsmanship, each beautiful picture was born. On the other side, the ancient capital, Bai Xiaorong is a photography blogger. She graduated from photography-related majors, and her academic performance is not bad. She originally worked in a film and television company, but later she felt that overtime work was too hard, so she became a self-media blogger, shooting some videos or photos posted online. Occasionally, I would start a live broadcast, earn some rewards, and explain shooting techniques to netizens. Most people still agree with her shooting skills. At night, Bai Xiaorong modified and color-corrected the photos taken during the day, and then uploaded them to Douyin. Not long after it was successfully released, Bai Xiaorong received dozens of likes. According to usual circumstances, the number of likes for this group of photos should be around 10,000 to 15,000. After the release was successful, Bai Xiaorong took a look at the comment area of the previously released video to see the feedback from netizens. Most people are praising the voice. Only a small number of black fans are there to curse. Regarding these anti-fans, Bai Xiaorong has always pretended not to see them. It is useless to argue with them. The anti-fans will not reason with you. Suddenly, Bai Xiaorong saw a comment. The photo has too much foreground and too little fill-in-the-blank space, which makes the field of view not wide enough. Although the main scene is in a prominent area, there are too many background scenes, making it eye-catching. What's the situation? Bai Xiaorong clicked on the homepage of the person who made the comment. He didn't have a single video, couldn't see anything, and his nickname was just ordinary, called This Year. The IP is located in Qin province, but I don't know which city it is from. What should I say about the other party's comments? It gave Bai Xiaorong a feeling of enlightenment. She thought there was something wrong with the video she shot before, but she could never find out what the problem was. There have always been people pointing fingers in the comment area, but most people's pointers were blind. A layman guides an expert. Bai Xiaorong just laughed it off and didn't take it to heart. Bai Xiaorong was shocked for a long time. She mustered up the courage to follow the account, This Year and the Year, then clicked on the private message and asked, "Hello, I think you know a lot about photography. Can we chat together? Or I can treat you to a meal and discuss it in person. Don't worry, I don't mean any harm. I just want to have a simple discussion with you." The first sentence was sent smoothly, but when it came to the second and third sentences, a red exclamation mark appeared, and Douyin reminded me that the other party could only send at most one text message before replying. Bai Xiaorong was a little annoyed. The few words she said before were a little evasive. She would have told the business directly. There is no other way now but to wait for the other party to reply. In the girls' dormitory, Chu Han took her new mobile phone, downloaded some software, and then synchronized her account and some information to those software. As soon as she logged into WeChat, Chu Han saw one message after another in a group of fellow university students she had joined, which was quite lively. Usually when Chu Han has nothing to do, he would chat among fellow villagers and say a few words. Because of her good looks, every time she popped up, a group of men would surround her, and they would like to treat her, and they would shout and ask her if she was free, and invite her to dinner and so on. Chu Han likes the feeling of being sought after, so she also likes to post selfies in the group. Sometimes when I wear black stockings and JK clothes, I will send them in. They were all LSPs, and the happier she became, the happier the LSPs in the fellow group were. I haven't posted any photos of my legs today. Why are these people chatting so happily? Chu Han clicked in, only to find that the people in the group were discussing the news that school beauty Lin Wanner was actually in love. Girls love to compare. Chu Han thought she was pretty good-looking, but she was always worried about not being rated as the campus beauty. Are all those men blind? She is so beautiful, yet she is unknown. What's so great about the school beauty? Chu Han took a selfie on the spot and sent it to the group. Damn it, Miss Chu Han is here. Someone in the group immediately began to flatter him. Sister Chu Han didn't go on a date with her boyfriend today? Someone also asked. Little boyfriend? Speaking of this, Chu Han felt angry because she was actually dumped by Lu Jiuzhang. I originally wanted to send it to Moments, but the phone was returned to Lu Jiuzhang at the time, and I couldn't send it. I just got the new phone now, and it's not too late yet. We broke up today, Chu Han said directly. I'm so angry. That person is so stupid that he even took back the mobile phone he bought me after we broke up. Some people in the group compliment Chu Han, while others dislike Chu Han. I think this woman is pretentious and arrogant. As soon as Chu Han came out to make a fuss, someone deliberately changed the topic and continued to lead to the incident of the school beauty. By the way, is this person from our school? Why don't I feel like it? The person said while posting a photo of Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Wanner's back. That should be the case. I heard that they are in the same department as the school beauty. Someone in the fellow group replied. Chu Han clicked on the photo and took a few glances. Damn it! The next second, Chu Han was shocked. Others don't know who the figure is, so how can she not know? After all, she had been with Lu Jiuzhang for a while, and that figure from behind was very familiar to her. Did you just break up with yourself and get together with the school beauty? Chu Han felt even more angry. The next second, she pushed open the dormitory door and rushed to the school lake angrily. I searched around the lake and couldn't find anyone from Lu Jiuzhang. She originally wanted to send a message to Lu Jiuzhang to question her, but she was blocked by Lu Jiuzhang. As soon as the message was sent, a red exclamation mark appeared. Phone numbers and the like were also put into the dark room. Depending on the situation, the other party should be taking graduation photos. Apart from the lake, the most likely place to go is the teaching building. Thinking of this, Chu Han rushed towards the teaching building. Chu Han still knew the approximate location of the teaching building of Lu Jiuzhang's department. When she rushed in, Lu Jiuzhang was taking pictures of the school beauty Lin Wanner. Seeing these two people together, Chu Han was instantly furious. Okay, Lu Jiuzhang, are you breaking up with me just for her? After saying that, Chu Han looked at Lin Wanner again. A great school beauty actually steals someone else's boyfriend. Are you so shameless? If it weren't for Lin Wanner, this matter might just be forgotten. But when he thought that Lu Jiuzhang actually found the school beauty after breaking up with her, Chu Han felt angry. Why? Why can a poor student like Lu Jiuzhang be with the school beauty? She doesn't allow it. Lu Jiuzhang must have a miserable life to prove that her choice was right. Chu Han stared at the two of them, huffing angrily, his chest rising and falling one after another. Is this your girlfriend? Lin Wanner's face changed, a little embarrassed. We've broken up. Afraid of Lin Wanner misunderstanding, Lu Jiuzhang explained. Break up? Didn't you break up with me just for her? Chu Han said angrily. You are still a school beauty. You are really not picky about food. Enough. Lu Jiuzhang was furious. Chu Han, what do you want? Don't you know the reason why I broke up with you? If you hadn't gone out to rent a house with Brother Bang and flaunted yourself everywhere, I could have broken up with you. Haha, you're only allowed to hook up with the school beauty, but you are not allowed to hook up with the top brother? Chu Han said confidently. You are like this. Why do you blame me? After a confrontation, Lin Wanner finally understood what it meant. It seems that Lu Jiuzhang did the right thing. If such a girl doesn't break up with her, she will keep him for the new year? Actually, while we were in a relationship, we went out to rent a house with the eldest brother on the list. No matter who it is, I'm afraid they won't be able to bear it. How did this man become so shameless? First of all, Lu Jiuzhang and I are just classmates. We are not hooking up or not. I hope you can keep your mouth clean. Lin Wanner was not a vegetarian, especially when she was so insulted by a girl. She said sternly, secondly, what's going on between me and classmate Lu Jiuzhang has nothing to do with you, right? You guys have broken up. It has nothing to do with it. It's a classmate relationship. Ha! Chu Han sneered. You don't know what dirty deeds you were doing behind your back. As soon as these words came out, Lin Wanner became even more angry. Her face turned red and white, and she directly took Lu Jiuzhang's arm. What is our relationship? Can your ex-girlfriend control it? You came to Lu Jiuzhang. Why do you want to get back together with him? Beg him to stay? Chu Han was stunned and snorted coldly. Humph! What's the point of getting back together with poor students? I don't care. If you don't care, then go out and don't disturb us, Lin Weiner said bluntly. Also, I advise you not to spread rumors, let alone slander at will. My brother graduated from the Imperial University of Political Science and Law, and his mentor was Luo Luo, a lawless man. Teacher, if you dare to tell nonsense, I will sue you. Rumors are more powerful than tigers. If Chuhan spreads nonsense outside and causes negative effects, he will be in big trouble. And if you open your mouth to spread rumors, you will lose your legs if you refute them. Rumors abound, and it's not easy to prove one's innocence. Let me out. The classroom is public territory. Why should I go out? This is your home, Chuhan said, unconvinced. It doesn't matter. You can stay here as long as you stay here. Lin Weiner was too lazy to talk to Chuhan anymore and regarded her as nothing. Then Lin Weiner looked at Lu Jiuzhang. Let's continue taking pictures. Good. Lu Jiuzhang smiled, picked up his phone, and continued to take pictures. Unexpectedly, Lin Weiner was quite powerful. She was able to rebuke Chuhan with a few words and even said them out loud. It's really a heifer flying, awesome as hell. Chuhan was so angry that when he saw the two people taking intimate photos together in front of him, his heart was filled with unknown fire. But this anger cannot be vented for a while, which makes it even more uncomfortable. Boom. Not wanting to stay here any longer, Chuhan slammed the door and left. In the classroom, Lu Jiuzhang put down the phone in his hand, looked at Lin Weiner and said slowly, "Thank you. What's there to be thankful for?" Lin Weiner waved her hand and said it was not worth mentioning. Actually, I hate people like this very much. I think a person must have some conscience and some moral qualities. I think you were also sad when she left you and moved into a room with the eldest brother on the list, right? For a moment, Lin Weiner was not worth it for Lu Jiuzhang. Why? Lu Jiuzhang let out a long sigh. Is it pitiful? He didn't really think so. Anyway, the green one is also the previous owner of this body. After traveling through time, Lu Jiuzhang dumped Chuhan directly, so there was no such thing as being cheated on. If you feel uncomfortable, lean on my shoulder, Lin Weiner said magnanimously. Don't worry, I'm a good person to talk to. If you have anything unhappy, just tell me, and I will try my best to enlighten you. Having said this, Lu Jiuzhang leaned on Lin Weiner's shoulder. A faint fragrance came. Lu Jiuzhang took a slight sniff and felt quite comfortable. The two of them sat like this. The atmosphere was quite subtle. For Lin Weiner, this was the first time a man was so close to her. For a moment, Lin Weiner's face turned red and she was a little shy. An inexplicable emotion rippled in her heart. Following the plot in the TV series, Lin Weiner gently patted Lu Jiuzhang on the back. Don't worry, without this one, the next one will be better. I will introduce you to a girlfriend then, Lin Weiner said. I promise to introduce you to a reliable one. Lu Jiuzhang turned around and looked at Lin Weiner and found that this girl was quite nice and had a simple mind. Ahem. Let's talk about it again. Lu Jiuzhang stood up and said, let's continue taking photos for you. There are still a few more to go. Good. The red color on Lin Weiner's face had not faded yet, but she still managed to cheer up and said calmly, how about going to the bar for a drink? The fellow was a little unwilling and continued to ask, let's drink a little longer and let the alcohol numb us. When we wake up, nothing will happen. Go to the bar? Ha, don't I know what you mean? Chuhan sneered. Don't you just want to sleep with her? So tactful. Hey, are you going? The fellow asked. Go, of course. Chuhan felt that he should go out for a drink to relieve his mood. As for opening a room with the other party, non-existent. Who does she think she is if she just spends this little money to rent a room? After finishing the meal, it was getting late. The dormitory closes and lights out at 11 p.m., so it should be about the same time when we walk back. Zhao Chuan and the others went back first, while Lu Jiuzhang sent Lin Weiner back to the dormitory. When she was downstairs in the girls' dormitory, Lin Weiner turned around and faced Lu Jiuzhang. I think you're quite a nice person. What's the meaning? Got a good guy card? Lu Jiuzhang thought that he had not expressed any intention to pursue Lin Weiner. We can have more contacts and communicate more in the future. Lin Weiner smiled shyly. Her whole face turned red. She felt that Lu Jiuzhang was indeed a nice person, but she tried to get along with him. If we can get along well in the future, it might not be impossible to be together. She is not the kind of casual woman. During the 4 years of college, there were many rich second-generation people chasing her, as well as handsome men. But in this world right now, people are too impetuous. Those suitors often only pursue her for a few days. When they see that there is no hope, they turn their backs and pursue other girls. In this era of fast food love, Lynn Warner wants to meet her own porridge simmered slowly over low heat. Taking your time may be the greatest sincerity. After saying these words, Lynn Warner ran into the dormitory building. Her face was red. What she said tonight was quite bold, and she didn't know if Lu Jiuzhang understood it. Boys' dormitory building, dormitory 313. As soon as Lu Jiuzhang walked outside the dormitory door, he heard Wang Hai say loudly, "I have decided that when I chase girls from now on, I will chase pretty ones. You said that chasing ugly ones will be rejected, and chasing beautiful ones will also be rejected, since they are all rejections. Why not chase the pretty ones? What if a pretty girl thinks I'm reliable and gets together with me? Wouldn't this make a lot of money?" Wang Hai strengthened his belief. The weirdest thing is that some women don't look very good, but they are still very confident and arrogant, which makes everyone unhappy. "Hey, Lao Wang, what are you talking about? I'm a little fairy. If you talk too much, be careful if people call you a coward." Zhao Chuan joked. Squeak! The dormitory door was pushed open and Lu Jiuzhang walked in. Wang Hai was wearing a vest, lying on the bed, and said carelessly, "See, Lao Lu is our role model. If you don't know how to speak, just say a few words. You are not a good role model." Lu Jiuzhang cursed. The weather is getting hotter and hotter, and the school is not installing air conditioners for everyone. There is a big fan hanging on the ceiling, whirring and squeaking, but the air blowing out seems to be hot. I have to live like this for another 2 weeks. It should be much better when I go out to work. Taking out the mobile phone in his pocket, Lu Jiuzhang thought that he should get a new mobile phone. He would use the latest Hongmeng mobile phone. We also support domestic production. Ding dong! On his mobile phone, Lu Jiuzhang received a message from Lin Warner. "It's getting late. You should go to bed early. Good night. I am indeed a little tired." During the afternoon taking pictures, Lin Warner had some sore legs and was very tired from walking around in various poses. After this sentence was sent out, it was also accompanied by an emoticon. Lu Jiuzhang immediately replied with a good night. When Lu Jiuzhang opened Douyin and was about to watch short videos for a while, he saw a private message received in the background. "Hello, I see you know a lot about photography. Can we chat together?" Clicking on the other party's homepage, Lu Jiuzhang discovered that this was not the blogger whom he had planned to learn photography skills from before. At that time, Lu Jiuzhang opened the big gift package given by the system and obtained the palace-level shooting technology, and then made a comment to the other party with itchy hands. One thing to say, the other party's ability to take photos is not bad. But taking pictures requires not only talent, but also someone to guide you. If you don't understand anything, you can leave me a message. I will get back to you when I have time. Lu Jiuzhang typed a line of words on the keyboard and replied, "Are you online? Can you check me out?" The next second, the other party replied with a message. Lu Jiuzhang clicked the follow button, and the two became Douyin friends and started chatting on Douyin. Most of the conversation was related to photography, and Lu Jiuzhang put forward some of his own opinions. These insights seemed trivial to Lu Jiuzhang, but in Bai Xiaorong's mind, they were sincere and practical information, just like the skills of keeping the bottom of the box, and would not be easily revealed to others. Seeing that the time was getting later and later, Lu Jiuzhang took the initiative to end the chat topic. "It's getting late. Go to bed early. Mr. Lu, since we are all in the ancient capital, can I treat you to a meal when you have time?" "Thank you very much," Bai Xiaorong said respectfully. "There's no need to eat. Just chat when you have time." Lu Jiuzhang deliberately declined. "We are all netizens, so why do we need to meet? How can this be possible? I'm becoming more and more curious about you. Let's just say you tell me where you are, and I can come find you." After the message was sent, Lu Jiuzhang did not reply. I picked up my wash basin and toothbrush and went to the bathroom to wash up. It's already getting late. It's time to wash up early and go to bed. In a rental house in the southern suburbs of the ancient capital, Bai Xiaorong held her mobile phone and recalled the content of the chat just now. Today was a fruitful day. Although Mr. Lu did not reply in the end, Bai Xiaorong was not angry. It is normal for a master like Mr. Lu to be a little arrogant. Even if you don't know how old Mr. Lu is now, it stands to reason that someone who has such unique insights into photography is generally not young. This can only be summed up after a long period of actual shooting. But during the conversation, Bai Xiaorong felt that the other party did not have that old-fashioned tone. Bai Xiaorong became more and more curious about who Mr. Lu was. The next day, early in the morning, Lu Jiuzhang's cell phone rang. When I turned on my phone, I saw a WeChat message from Lin Weiner. I plan to go for a run on the playground. Do you want to come with me? She went to bed too early last night. Lin Warner woke up at around 6 o'clock this morning. After getting up and washing up, she felt a little bored. All her roommates were sleeping, and there was no one to talk to. After much deliberation, Lin Warner decided to go for exercise, so she sent a message to Lu Jiuzhang. Wait a minute, I haven't gotten up yet. Get up now. Lu Jiuzhang replied. Boys, they wash up quickly. By the time Lu Jiuzhang went downstairs, Lin Warner was already standing downstairs in the boys' dormitory. Due to Lin Warner's reputation in the school, many people stopped and watched. Damn it, what is Lin University's campus beauty doing downstairs in the boys' dormitory? She still has breakfast in her hand. You don't know yet? A screenshot was circulated yesterday. The beauty of Lin University was caught up by a boy from our school. The two walked side by side. It was so sweet. My heart is broken. Why wasn't I the one who seduced the beauty of Lin University? Brother, it's important for people to be self-aware. Forget about your appearance. I'm not saying that you must at least have some capital, such as money or good looks. What the hell? Are you looking down on me? Starting from tomorrow, I will start to change my hairstyle, lose weight, change my style, and start moving forward. I'm sorry, but I must win this time. You watch too much Douyin, but you change your hairstyle, lose weight, and change your style. Why don't you go to heaven? If you ask me, you might as well hide in the dormitory and watch a few short movies. Small movie? Brother, you have also done some research on this? Maria Ozawa. Are you living in the last century? How old is Maria Ozawa? Teacher AO has become a good person. Of course, they're the latest ones to debut. F****K. F***K. Brother, borrow one to talk. You have an apple, and I have an apple. After we exchange, each of us only has one apple, but you have a small movie website, and I have a small movie website. After the exchange, one person will have two small movie websites. You tell me the small movie websites you know first. You probably want to use my website for free. I won't give it to you. Everyone started discussing enthusiastically. When Lu Jiuzhang went downstairs, he saw a bunch of people crowded downstairs. Lin Warner was standing at the door of the dormitory, holding a few steamed buns and a glass of soy milk. I'm afraid you won't be used to it, so I'll put less sugar in the soy milk. Lin Warner said, as for the steamed buns, the ground is soft and the filling is soft. Thanks. Lu Jiuzhang took the breakfast. It's quite unusual for a girl to take the initiative to bring breakfast. Aren't boys usually giving gifts to girls? Girls are downstairs, and every holiday, there is a group of men queuing up and waiting downstairs with gifts. It's okay. I went for a run on the playground and passed by the restaurant, so I bought it. Lin Warner wanted to show that she was not very deliberate and just happened along the way. But from the perspective of the group of people around who were joining in the fun, this is not just a piggybacking. They obviously meant it, right? Let's go. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. Good. Lin Warner walked beside Lu Jiuzhang. Under the looks of the onlookers looking like murderers, the two left the dormitory building and went to the playground. Lu Jiuzhang still likes to eat soft stuffed buns, but he doesn't have the habit of eating breakfast. Mainly because when I got up before, it was already late. Just have lunch. Today is the first time I got up so early. You must not exercise strenuously just after eating. The two of them walked around the playground and chatted along the way. Tell me, why do people fall in love? Lin Warner suddenly asked. Do not know. Lu Jiuzhang shook his head. Why fall in love? It's expensive and unpleasant. I think when I was a student, I was mainly confused and longing for my other half. When I was working, I was lonely. Lin Warner said, my cousin works in the imperial capital, and the place where she lives and the company are on the same line every day. She rarely goes out to shopping malls and mostly does online shopping. My cousin said that just because she's in a big city and lives alone, she always feels empty every night. The room is too quiet and too quiet. Alone. If only there was someone to talk to. Lu Jiuzhang said, it's so hard to find a partner. I just don't understand. Men are looking for a partner every day, and women are anxious to find a partner every day. So many people are in need. Why can't they find one? Do you think you can find it? Lin Warner looked at Lu Jiuzhang and asked with a smile. This? Lu Jiuzhang hesitated. What does this mean? Why? Do you want to consider me? Lu Jiuzhang said with a smile. No way. You are so beautiful. Lin Warner's face turned red, and she quickly retorted. The sun was rising, and under the morning light, Lin Warner was dressed in sportswear. She looked quite capable and had a dashing and heroic appearance. The atmosphere was a little awkward, so Lin Warner took the initiative and said, can you tell a joke? Just tell me a joke. Lu Jiuzhong really didn't know how to tell a joke, so he was searching for time to think of a joke. I remember when I was in high school, the teacher told us to prevent us from falling in love prematurely, so we should study hard now and not fall in love. Because the girlfriend you are dating now will be someone else's wife in the future. This is spending money to support someone else's wife. Then what? Lin Wanner asked. Then I stood up and told the teacher, damn, someone else's wife? It's exciting to think about it. Lu Jiuzhong said. Puff. Lin Wanner didn't react at all. She thought Lu Jiuzhong was very serious, but she didn't expect that he turned a corner in the end. In fact, this joke is not very funny. It is a very old joke. But if she has a good impression of you, no matter what you say, she will be happy. If she hates you very much, she will find it boring no matter how funny you tell her. This is impressive. Lu Jiuzhong smiled and said, there is another joke. Women are responsible for being beautiful and beautiful. So what are men responsible for? Making money to support the family? Flower arrangement. Why flower arrangement? Lin Wanna asked back, but before Lu Jiuzhong could answer, she suddenly reacted. You went too far and bullied me again. Lin Wanner's face turned even redder. This topic is really sensitive. Haha, just kidding. Don't be angry. Lu Jiuzhong laughed. I'm too lazy to care about you. Lin Wanner quickened her pace. Lu Jiuzhong took 3 steps and 2 steps at a time and hurriedly chased after him. To punish you for talking nonsense, you can treat me to lunch later. Lin Wanner said, you don't have to go out, you can just eat in the restaurant. Food outside is so expensive, but food in school is much cheaper. The easiest way for 2 people to maintain a relationship is actually to come and go. The simplest thing is that you treat me to a meal and I treat you to a meal. This can be extended to me lending you a tool and returning it to you after I use it. This creates 2 opportunities to meet. It wasn't until 10 o'clock in the morning, when the temperature was getting higher and higher, that the 2 reluctantly returned to their respective dormitories and made an appointment to have dinner together at noon later. In the dormitory, Lu Jiuzhong's roommate Wang Hai has returned to the company, leaving only Zhao Chuan and Li Tao. The 2 of them happily stood by the window, holding binoculars to look at the schoolgirls on the playground. It is early summer and the temperature is rising. Many schoolgirls like to wear short shorts during physical education classes, exposing their big white legs and revealing their graceful figures. The 2 of them are quite boring. If you like it, just ask them for their contact information. It's useless to keep reading here. Lao Lu, you're back. Zhao Chuan and Li Tao looked at Lu Jiuzhong together. What about that? Why don't you come over and take a look together? You better watch it. I'm not interested in this. Lu Jiuzhong waved his hand. Yes, you all have a school beauty. With the looks and figure of Lin University's beauty, do you need to look at these vulgar fans? Li Tao teased. Son, how dare you be so mean to your father? Lu Jiuzhong cursed. You are my son. Li Tao scolded back. You actually want to be my father? Stop making trouble, stop making trouble. How come you are such grown-up people and are talking about this son and that son every day? Dad, I think you two should value harmony. Zhao Chuan smiled. Damn it, you still want to take advantage of us too? Lu Jiuzhong rushed to Zhao Chuan, cooperated with Li Tao, and pushed Zhao Chuan against the wall and punched him several times. I was wrong, my son was wrong, fathers, forgive me. Zhao Chuan quickly changed his words and apologized. This is true. Lu Jiuzhong and Li Tao stopped their fists. Stop making trouble, let's talk about business. Zhao Chuan handed the binoculars to Li Tao, then looked at Lu Jiuzhong and said, I'm leaving school soon. I've recently been asked to do some work, sign a tripartite agreement. What are you going to do? In order to increase the employment rate, many schools require graduates to sign a tripartite agreement before graduation. If you can't sign, just stamp it. In the end, even getting a certificate of employment is enough. Just going through the motions. Therefore, it seems that the employment rate of school graduates is very high, but in fact there are still many people who are unemployed. If you want to find a job, you still have to rely on yourself? What are your plans? Lu Jiuzhong asked. What else can I do? Now I am unemployed after graduation. It is too difficult to find a job. I am preparing to take the postgraduate entrance examination or the editing entrance examination. Zhao Chuan said, the major we study has so many graduates. It is so difficult. There are also many people taking the postgraduate entrance examination, and even more taking the postgraduate entrance examination. But Lu Jiuzhong has nothing to worry about. The system has rewarded more than 1 billion yuan, but it has not been spent yet. Ding! While Lu Jiuzhong was thinking, the voice of the system sounded in his mind again. Ding! The task is open. ask the host to start a business and get an investment of no less than 100,000 yuan within 5 days. Note: the host must rely on his own personal charm to get the investment. When investing, you cannot reveal your wealth and financial resources to induce others to invest. How to use other people's money to reduce your own costs and share risks together. Investment is a technology and a knowledge. I hope the host can gain something from it. After completing the task, the host will be rewarded with 2 billion Chinese coins. Can you only rely on your own personal charm to attract investment? This is a bit painful. This is equivalent to an ordinary college student with no skills, and then trying to defraud 100,000 yuan without using any connections or money. If there was no such limit, it would be much simpler. Lu Jiuzhang still has more than 1 billion yuan in his bank card. Isn't it easy to get 100,000 yuan? It seems that tasks released by the system are not released casually without any reason. Every step has its own reason. I have an idea to start a business directly. After thinking for a while, Lu Jiuzhang looked at Zhao Chuan and said slowly, "Entrepreneurship, what type?" Zhao Chuan asked. "Let's do photography first." Lu Jiuzhang thought, "and then start other businesses. Just do whatever you can." It is obviously impossible to make money from starting a business. These days, when college students start their own businesses, every one of them dies. Lu Jiuzhang doesn't have to do this. He can just get the reward directly from the system. It's this investment of 100,000 yuan, which is a bit difficult to make with just your own charm. Starting a business? Zhao Chuan murmured to himself, "How about I also invest in some shares, and we can do it together?" I also saw the photos you took of Lin University's campus beauties before. The quality is indeed high. The photography agencies that took our graduation photos were terrible and charged so much, so why not come with you? Graduation photos, especially individual photos, are too expensive. Just a set of a dozen or so photos can cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars. What's more, the expensive package costs 3,000 to 4,000 yuan for one photo shoot. It just so happens that the photos taken were not very good. Zhao Chuan said, "I'll go back and talk to my parents to see if they can support me. If nothing else, I can at least come up with 10,000 to 20,000 yuan, which can be counted as individual stocks." Zhao Chuan's family conditions are not bad, and he should be able to spend 10 to 20,000 yuan. I will help you and prepare for the exam at the same time. With 10 to 20,000 yuan, Zhao Chuan could find himself a postgraduate entrance examination classroom. The fees for specialized postgraduate entrance examination classrooms outside are not cheap either. The rent for a very small house is 600 to 700 yuan a month, which is almost 10,000 yuan a year. Now you can not only prepare for the exam, but you can also own shares, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and make money. Then if that's the case, I'll also buy some shares. Li Tao smiled and said, "I'm not interested in the postgraduate entrance examination, but I am interested in short video operations. Let's open a photography store and then operate short video accounts to attract traffic online." I visited several stores before, and they kept attracting traffic from Douyin, and the annual net profit exceeded 1 million. The three hit it off immediately. "How much can you get?" Lu Jiuzhang looked at Li Tao and asked. "Well, I still have more than 20,000 New Year's money." Li Tao said, "My New Year's money has always been with me. This is the New Year's money from the past 20 years since childhood. I have saved it all, so give it a try. If you don't bother when you are young, why bother when you are old?" "Very good. Now they're almost 30,000 yuan. There is still 70,000 yuan left, which is a bit difficult." Lu Jiuzhang was surrounded by students, most of whom had little money. "Then I will contact an agency later and register the company first." Lu Jiuzhang said, "Registering a company can also attract more investment." Time flashed to 12 noon, and Lu Jiuzhang went out to have dinner with Lin Wanner, chatting while eating very slowly. At about 1 o'clock, the two separated. Lu Jiuzhang originally planned to go outside to buy a new mobile phone or look at a house. But as soon as he returned to his dormitory, his phone rang, and a message appeared on the screen. It was a reminder from Douyin, saying that someone had sent him a private message. I clicked on it and saw that it was sent by the blogger from last night. "Mr. Lu, can I meet you when you have time? I really want to ask for advice." The other party was extremely sincere. Lu Jiuzhang had no choice but to agree. "Come to Goody University. I'll wait for you inside the school." Goody University? On the other end of the phone, Bai Xiaorong looked at these 4 words in a daze. Could it be that Mr. Lu is a teacher at Goody University? Forget it. Don't think about it anymore. Won't you know when you meet me? After tidying up and putting on makeup, Bai Xiaorong went out 2 hours later. While in the car, Bai Xiaorong kept looking in the mirror to see if her makeup was suitable. The color of the lipstick was a little thick. Bai Xiaorong took out a piece of paper and wiped the lipstick. When she finished applying it, Bai Xiaorong was upset again. She had applied too much and the lipstick was too light. So she took out the lipstick and applied it again. Seeing her like this, the online taxi driver couldn't help but ask, "Girl, are you wearing such beautiful makeup to meet your boyfriend?" "No, I'm going to meet a senior," Bai Xiaorong explained hurriedly. "It's not okay to put on makeup like this when you meet your seniors. It will make you look frivolous." The driver said, "You have to be more capable and appear to be very capable. You don't rely on your face to make a living, but your ability." When the driver master said this, Bai Xiaorong suddenly reacted. "Yes. Now what? How about, master? Take me back and let me change my clothes?" Bai Xiaorong said. "This?" The driver wanted to give himself a slap in the face. "Why are you talking so much when you have nothing to do? It's hard to get an order, but if the customer gets off the bus midway, how can you still make money?" No, you look good with makeup," the driver said hurriedly. "How old is your senior? If he is young, the prettier you are with makeup, the more he will like you. I am a man, and I know men best. All of them are LSP. If it's not LSP, then it's probably gay." The driver persuaded Bai Xiaorong to the door of Goody University. Bai Xiaorong's appearance can't be considered excellent, but at most average, but she has been out of society for 2 years, so she is a bit bold in her outfits and looks a bit sexy. Just those 2 big white legs make people feel relaxed and happy. In this way, one's own temperament is invisibly improved. Some of the students around me looked straight in their eyes. Are you a senior? Can I take the liberty of adding your contact information?" A sophomore student boldly walked up to Bai Xiaorong and asked. "I'm sorry, I'm not interested in you little brothers. You should be older," Bai Xiaorong joked. "You are older no matter where you are, but you are not a mere brat." The junior glanced down shyly. "Gone? It seems that I still need to grow up." The junior student turned around and ran away quickly. It was really embarrassing. Bai Xiaorong is waiting here, greeting the eyes of passers-by. Girls all like others to pay attention to them, so that they look more beautiful. Ding dong! Bai Xiaorong's cell phone rang. When she opened it, she saw that it was from Mr. Liu, asking where she was. "Mr. Liu, I'm wearing a white vest and short shorts," Bai Xiaorong replied respectfully. "Here it is." At the gate of Goody University, a handsome man with a height of 1.8 meters and a sunny face waved towards her. "Is that Mr. Liu? How can it be?" Bai Xiaorong couldn't believe it. She thinks that even if Mr. Liu is not in his 40s or 50s, he should be in his 30s. How could it be possible that he was just a college student? However, let me tell you that college student is indeed quite handsome. At this young age, he is full of vitality. Are you Mr. Liu?" Bai Xiaorong asked hesitantly. "It's me, my name is Liu Jiuzhang." Liu Jiuzhang stretched out his right hand. Bai Xiaorong shook it gently and felt that the hand was very tender, but not soft. It felt very good to hold it. Not far away from the two of them, the sophomore who had just been rejected looked at Liu Jiuzhang and Bai Xiaorong and felt angry. "Didn't you say you don't like your brother? Why are you still shaking hands with another brother now? Is this looking down on him?" The sophomore classmate felt bitter in his heart. Liu Jiuzhang coughed lightly and took out his hand. "Ha, I'm a little rude." Bai Xiaorong's mouth was almost drooling. He was such a young brother and had such good photography skills. He was a natural-born standard boyfriend. This is called old grass eating young cow. "Let's go and take you around Goody University," Liu Jiuzhang said. "Good." Bai Xiaorong nodded. She used to go to a film school. Although it is also a top school, the academic atmosphere is not strong in comparison. It's an art school, so that's understandable. Those students often go out to pick up private jobs or go out to drink or eat with the directors of some film and television drama projects. Overall, it's still a bit messy. Academic universities are different. Different from the impetuousness of film schools, it is much duller here. "How old is Mr. Liu this year?" On the way, Bai Xiaorong asked in a casual chat. "I'm a senior, and I'm about to graduate." Liu Jiuzhang felt relieved that his student days were gone forever. "Have you found a job?" "I plan to start my own business and open a photography shop." The two of them walked to a lake. Liu Jiuzhang pointed to a stone by the lake and said, "It's good to take a group of photos here. People sit on the stone and then use the third composition method and finally add some filters. The coloring must be very interesting. As a student, you should have a bit of youthfulness. The color should not be too light, but it should not be too strong either. The rich style looks a bit old-fashioned, but also a bit mature." Liu Jiuzhang said slowly. "These are very common photography skills, not very powerful, but when Lu Jiuzhang said them in simple terms, Bai Xiaorong understood them instantly. Is this Mr. Lu's strength? Very strong indeed. This time I came to Mr. Lu and found the right one. Then, Mr. Lu, I also want to work with you. When you open a photography store, can you let me work beside you? Bai Xiaorong asked. There's no need to start with it. It's just a photography store. How could there be so many things when it first opened? Lu Jiuzhang said with a smile. If you have ideas, you can become a shareholder. Invest in shares? Bai Xiaorong was shocked and confused. It is definitely a good thing to invest in shares. With Mr. Lu's photography skills, you will definitely earn a lot of money. But this is the first time the two of them have met. Is it appropriate? I have 2 roommates who also want to join, but they're just playing for fun. Lu Jiuzhang said. If you come in, I can give you at most 10% of the shares, which is about 70,000 yuan. I still own the majority. The total investment will definitely not be small, and it is actually a good deal for you. I'll go back and think about it carefully. Bai Xiaorong couldn't decide for a moment, so she just nodded. Ding dong. At this time, Lu Jiuzhang's cell phone rang. When I opened it, I saw that it was from Lin Weiner. Are you in the dormitory right now? I bought you a gift. Lin Weiner asked. No, I'm at the lake. A friend came to see me. Lu Jiuzhang replied. Okay, I'll go find you by the lake. Lin Weiner replied. Mr. Lu, is the mobile phone you use so old? Bai Xiaorong suddenly asked. He can't be a liar. You know, there is a saying in the industry, photography will fail 3 generations, and SLR will ruin a life. Although this sentence is a bit exaggerated, it also has a certain truth. None of the camera lenses are cheap. They cost thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. That kind of top-notch equipment is worth hundreds of thousands or millions in one set. Those who can afford photography and are good at it most have good family conditions. As for using such a broken mobile phone, I'm ready to change it, but I haven't changed it yet. Lu Jiuzhang said. This phone is indeed too old and has a special card. The few seams on the tempered film of mobile phones also affect the appearance. Originally, he planned to go out to buy a new mobile phone in the afternoon, but when Bai Xiaorong came, Lu Jiuzhang had to give up. Lu Jiuzhang. Suddenly, a voice came from afar. I saw a woman wearing a white dress and her hair coming over. That woman was stunning, with exquisite facial features, fair skin, and a first-class figure. Even though Bai Xiaorong had been out in society for so many years, she had seen many beauties, and she couldn't help but praise her. She was the best among all the beauties she had seen. It also ranks among the top 3. Lin Weiner came over panting heavily. It was a hot day, and she was exhausted. Lin Weiner was holding a gift bag in her hand. Her cheeks were slightly red, and there were a few drops of sweat on her forehead. It was much cooler when I walked to the lakeside and under the shade of the trees. Sit down and take a rest, Lu Jiuzhang said. Who is this? Seeing the woman next to Lu Jiuzhang, Lin Weiner instantly became alert. A netizen asked me about my photography skills. Lu Jiuzhang explained. Yeah, Lin Weiner was dubious. The woman in front of her was obviously several years older than her. Her clothes were very trendy, and the Mount Everest in front of her was also much higher than her. But in terms of appearance, Lin Weiner didn't lose. She puffed out her chest and tried to make herself look better. Isn't your phone broken? I bought a new phone, equipped with Hongmeng system. Lin Weiner handed the bag in her hand to Lu Jiuzhang. There is a mobile phone case inside the bag, which has not been opened yet. Hongmeng mobile phones are not cheap. They are independently developed in China. The P50E, 8 plus 256G, costs more than 4,400 yuan. Among students, this phone is no longer considered cheap. It is said that Apple and Hongmeng mobile phones are terrible, but most people still use mobile phones that cost 1 or 2,000 yuan. A mobile phone priced at 4 to 5,000 yuan is not bad. Lu Jiuzhang knew that Lin Weiner still had 10,000 yuan left on her. Lu Jiuzhang felt a little embarrassed to buy such an expensive mobile phone all of a sudden. You can use it first, Lin Weiner said. Anyway, you are in the ancient capital, and I am also in the ancient capital. There is no way to escape. Just give me another gift when the time comes. After having lunch with Lu Jiuzhang, when Lin Weiner returned to the dormitory, she remembered that Lu Jiuzhang's mobile phone was in such a bad state, and he was still using it. For a moment, I felt a little upset. It was definitely too late to shop online at this point. So, Lin Weiner went to the Hongmeng mobile phone store and bought a new mobile phone for Lu Jiuzhang. Lin Weiner felt that she gave Lu Jiuzhang a mobile phone because of their friendship. It's definitely not because I like it or anything else. Yes, it is like that. Lin Weiner hinted to herself. Don't you want to go on a graduation trip? Lu Jiuzhang was a little embarrassed. We haven't even been together yet, so I gave you such an expensive gift. Lin Wanner, this girl, once she gets close to her, she really cares about her friends. We'll talk about it after the trip. Don't be in a hurry. Lin Wanner didn't care. If you have money, travel well. If you don't have money, travel poorly. It's not a big problem, she said, pretending to be relaxed. Ahem. Bai Xiaorong couldn't help coughing twice. Just now, she felt that Lu Jiuzhong was so good at photography, but he used such a shabby mobile phone, and she had doubts in her heart. Unexpectedly, the next second, a beautiful woman presented a new mobile phone. What a slap in the face. I've given you all the gifts, please accept them. Bai Xiaorong found a step for the two of them. At worst, next time you can just give back a gift. Then I'll accept it, thank you. Lu Jiuzhong looked at Lin Wanner with a smile. He was indeed very moved. In the evening, come and have dinner with me. Lin Wanner said, I can't refuse. After saying this, Lin Wanner glanced at Bai Xiaorong again, a bit like a demonstration and a declaration of sovereignty. Good. Lu Jiuzhong agreed wholeheartedly. Okay, you guys chat slowly. I'll leave first. Lin Wanner waved her hand, turned and walked towards the dormitory. After Lin Wanner had walked a few steps away, Bai Xiaorong said, Why don't you go give me a gift? This kind of question is considered a proposition. If Lu Jiuzhong went to see him off, he would undoubtedly leave the guest here and embarrass the guest. But if she didn't send it off, Lin Wanner would definitely feel uncomfortable after all the words were said. Bai Xiaorong wanted to see what Lu Jiuzhong would choose. Then you wait here. I'll see her off first. Lu Jiuzhong said. After saying these words, Lu Jiuzhong took 3 steps and 2 steps at a time to catch up with Lin Wanner. Bai Xiaorong wanted to give herself a slap in the face. Why did she say this when she had nothing to do? Now she was really bored here alone. I thought Lu Jiuzhong would refuse and stay here with him. After all, Lin Wanner has stayed at Good University for 4 years. She must be very familiar with the school. Does she still need to give it away? Unexpectedly, Lu Jiuzhong didn't even think about it and just left him alone. Are you terrible? Bai Xiaorong looked at herself. Although my appearance is not as good as that little girl's, my measurements are bigger. Especially those 2 Mount Everests. How outstanding are they? Don't today's young people like a big sister like her? It took more than half an hour for Lu Jiuzhong to come back. Bai Xiaorong became more and more bored as she waited by the lake. She almost planned to send Lu Jiuzhong a message saying that she was going back first, when she saw Lu Jiuzhong coming from a distance. After Lu Jiuzhong approached, Bai Xiaorong smiled and said, Giggle, how are you? My little girlfriend isn't jealous, is she? That's not true. We are not boyfriend and girlfriend. Lu Jiuzhong didn't take it seriously. Let's go around again. I originally said that I would have a meal with you tonight, but now it seems that I have no chance. Bai Xiaorong said, It's obvious that Nizi likes you. This makes me curious. What kind of magic power do you have? Can girls take the initiative to give you gifts? These days, men give gifts to women. A woman giving a man a gift is rarer than a giant panda. I don't know. Maybe she's a nicer person. Lu Jiuzhong thought. There are indeed few girls like Lin Wanner who can consider others. Back to the topic. Do you have any plans to invest? Lu Jiuzhong asked. I'm a little interested. Bai Xiaorong recalled Lin Wanner's expression just now and suddenly wanted to join in. Women love to compare. Especially beautiful women love to compare. Lin Wanner's demonstration just now made Bai Xiaorong feel a little uncomfortable. Bai Xiaorong feels that she is more feminine. Although appearance is important, it can be made up for in other aspects. As for worrying about Lu Jiuzhong running away with the money, Bai Xiaorong still had this worry at the beginning, but now it is gone. On the one hand, running away for 70,000 yuan is not enough. You want to say 700,000, 7 million, or even 70 million are still possible. But for 70,000 yuan, even if you take the money and run away, where can you go? Moreover, the country's laws are now so sound, and there are cameras all over the streets. Unless you hide in the mountains and forests for the rest of your life, you will be caught if you dare to come out. I will choose a location in the next 2 days. In addition, I haven't trusted in... The two of them were fighting and fussing, and finally left the restaurant without stopping. Then, he went to the playground for a walk to eat. The relationship between the two seems to be getting closer, and they can joke freely. Within a day or two, Lin Wanner became more and more dependent on Lu Jiuzhong. It wasn't until very late that Lu Jiuzhong finished seeing off Lin Wanner and returned to his dormitory. Boys' dormitory, 313. Master Lu, you are finally back. As soon as Lu Jiuzhong came in, Zhao Chuan joked. In addition to going to class for 4 years, you just stayed in the dormitory and played games. Why did you suddenly become enlightened after you graduated right away? Not only did they fall in love, but they also stayed outside all day long and didn't come back until almost lights out every time. Zhao Chuan sighed. You are so envious. Lu Jiuzhong changed into a pair of slippers and sat on a chair. Don't worry, if I meet any other girls in the future, I can introduce them to you. Then thank you, Master Lu. Zhao Chuan was moved. I just said that my 4 years of college were not in vain. Master Lu, am the most reliable. While the two were chatting in full swing, Li Tao had just finished washing, holding a wash basin and pushing open the dormitory door and walked in. Lao Lu, you are back. By the way, I saw Lu Kai this afternoon. He has also returned to school. Be careful. That guy Lu Kai has always had evil intentions towards Lin University's beauty. It's not that I'm worried that the beauty of Lin University will be caught up by him. I'm just afraid that this kid will do something bad to you. Lu Kai? Lu Jiuzhong searched for memories about this person in his mind. Lu Kai is in the same class as them, and his family is very rich. This guy likes to pick up girls and often takes them out to hang out. Precisely because of his unreliability, Lin Wanner rarely talked to him. But he had always had a crush on Lin Wanner. He once drove an Audi with a trunk full of flowers and confessed to Lin Wanner downstairs in the girls' dormitory. Then Lin Wanner notified the security guard, who came forward and drove him away. In Lu Jiuzhong's memory, he had at least a dozen girlfriends during his college years. Every time I break up with a girl, I run after Lin Wanner. After a few days of chasing without success, I went to pick up another girl. Not long after he was with another girl, he broke up and started chasing Lin Wanner again. He never gets tired of it. Lu Jiuzhong has no feelings for such people. They're just playboys. But if this brings trouble to him, then Lu Jiuzhong is not someone to be trifled with. After washing up, Lu Jiuzhong tried out his new phone while chatting with Lin Wanner. After all, it was a phone worth several thousand yuan, and it was quite easy to use. When I finally went to bed, it was almost 2 o'clock in the morning. Lu Jiuzhong didn't know what there was to talk about, but the two of them kept chatting, and the more they talked, the more excited they became. By the early morning of the next day, Lin Wanner no longer asked Lu Jiuzhong to get up and exercise. She was probably still asleep at the moment. Lu Jiuzhong glanced at the date on the screen of his mobile phone. Today is May 25th, around 8 o'clock in the morning. The calendar shows that today is a good day to get married, travel, and trade, but not to move, break ground, or bury. After leaving the school, Lu Jiuzhong took a taxi and asked the taxi driver to wander around a 5-kilometer radius of the school, preparing to choose a location for the photography shop. It took about half an hour for Lu Jiuzhong to stop in front of a street shop. This shop is about 2 kilometers away from Kudu University and is considered the busiest commercial street near the school. There are many residents nearby, and there are several elementary schools, middle schools, and high schools. It should be the most suitable place to open a photography store. Short video traffic is important, but the location of offline physical stores is equally important. There is a sign hanging on this street-facing shop that reads, "Prosper Shop for Rent," along with a list of contact numbers. This kind of shop is usually very popular. It is estimated that the last tenant canceled the lease within a few days. Otherwise, it would have been rented out long ago. Lu Jiuzhong dialed the number on the sign. There was a middle-aged woman's voice on the other end of the phone. After the call was connected, the other party asked Lu Jiuzhong to enter the building behind the shop. The whole building is not particularly high, about 20 floors. The lower 3 floors are shops, and the upper floors are commercial and residential. There are residents and some people rent rooms and open companies inside. Lu Jiuzhong entered the elevator and pressed the button for the 5th floor. The building property is in a house on the 5th floor. The layout of the property is very simple. Sitting on a seat on the side is a woman in her mid-30s, chatting with the property manager. The woman was tall, about 1.7 meters tall, wearing sunglasses and dressed quite fashionably. "Are you Mr. Lu who just talked to me on the phone?" the woman asked, speaking Mandarin. "It's me." Lu Jiuzhong nodded. The woman smiled and said, "Young and handsome. How old are you?" "Sweat. Why did you ask about this?" Lu Jiuzhong said, "I'm 22, I just graduated, and I plan to start a business." "Well, that's good. You have the hard work," the woman wearing sunglasses praised. "Young people should dare to venture and work hard. I know it's not easy for you college students to start a business, so let's do this. The original rent of this shop is $410,000. Let me lower it to $30,000. $360,000 a year. Forget it. Round it up, $350,000 a year." The woman smiled. "Damn it, so generous?" Lu Jiuzhang was surprised. If calculated based on the previous 40,000 yuan per month, the annual rent would be about 480,000 yuan. Now it is only 350,000 yuan, which is 130,000 yuan cheaper. Lu Jiuzhang was a little flattered by such a big discount. What's wrong? Aren't you happy about the price reduction? The woman smiled. I also graduated from college and started my own business. I know it's not easy for you, so I support you. The woman walked up to Lu Jiuzhang and said, if there is no problem, we can sign the contract now. When things go wrong, there must be a monster, and Lu Jiuzhang always feels that something is wrong. However, he picked up the contract and read it for a long time, but he didn't find any loopholes in the contract. Is this store going to be mortgaged or something? Lu Jiuzhang asked. Haha, don't worry. It's not mortgaged. I have the property ownership certificate in my hand. If you're worried, I can add a clause to the contract. If the contract is terminated due to problems such as the house being mortgaged, I'll compensate both of you. Double the rent, the woman said. That's okay. Lu Jiuzhang nodded, and after redrafting the contract, the two signed the contract under the witness of the property manager. The rent is 350,000, paid half a year in advance. Lu Jiuzhang transferred 135,000 yuan to the other party's bank card plus a 1-month deposit of 30,000 yuan, totaling about 165,000 yuan. When things were done and there were no problems, Lu Jiuzhang breathed a sigh of relief and successfully obtained the shop keys, water cards, and electricity cards. When taking the elevator downstairs, the landlord and Lu Jiuzhang were together. Where are you going? Can I give you a ride? The woman asked with a smile. Go to university? I can just take a taxi there myself. No need to trouble you. Lu Jiuzhang said embarrassedly. On the way, it's okay. The woman smiled and pulled Lu Jiuzhang's arm, and the two walked towards a black Bentley car parked on the street. In a black Bentley, the woman wearing sunglasses sat in the driver's seat, and Lu Jiuzhang sat in the passenger seat. The woman's name was Chen Meiru. Lu Jiuzhang saw her when she signed the contract. The contract also contains the identity information of both parties. Sister Chen was born in 1987 and is exactly 35 years old this year. After fastening her seatbelt, Sister Chen took off her sunglasses, and Lu Jiuzhang saw a fresh scar at the corner of her eye. Sister Chen turned her head and smiled at Lu Jiuzhang and said, I feel uncomfortable driving while wearing sunglasses. Sister Chen, it's okay. You look beautiful with or without sunglasses. Lu Jiuzhang praised. No woman doesn't like to be praised by others, especially by a handsome young man. Hearing this, Sister Chen smiled. Lu Jiuzhang followed her eyes and found several more scars on her neck. Sister Chen, you? Lu Jiuzhang hesitated to speak. Did you see my scars? Sister Chen was not surprised, but said, my ex-husband did it. He has been fighting for the custody of our daughter recently, and there have been many conflicts. Lu Jiuzhang didn't want to get involved in other people's family affairs, so he had to say politely, Sister Chen, please pay attention to your own safety. If you need my help in any way, feel free to call me. After all, he had just waived hundreds of thousands of rent for himself, so he still had to say polite words. Kiki, what can you help me with? Sister Chen smiled and recalled the past. My ex-husband is a gambler. He and I have been divorced for 4 or 5 years. We originally agreed on the custody of our daughter. Be mine. Now that he has lost all his family property, he wants to use this to threaten me, asking me to either pay him 30 million or give her my daughter. He knows that my daughter is my weakness, and she only comes here for money. When talking about this, Sister Chen couldn't help but feel a little sad. Every family has problems that are difficult to recite. It is really unlucky to have such an ex-husband. Then you shouldn't spoil him, Lu Jiuzhang said sternly. Even if there is no divorce, it is illegal for him to hit you. Why don't you call the police? Call the police? What can I do? He's just a gangster, Sister Chen sighed. After being detained for a few days and released, he came to harass me again. What about moving away from the ancient capital? Lu Jiuzhang asked Sister Chen. Have you considered this? The whole family is here, and the roots are here. Where can we move to? Sister Chen was a little disappointed. I would like to start a new relationship and have someone I can rely on. When saying this, Sister Chen looked at Lu Jiuzhang. When she saw him like this, Lu Jiuzhang felt a little bit hairy. Xiao Lu, do you have any ideas to be with me? Sister Chen asked. Don't worry, I'm not bad, and I have a lot of assets. I am a native of the ancient capital. I lost a lot of money during the demolition, and then my sister I also made a lot of money working hard in the ancient capital. 5 buildings in that commercial street are owned by my sister. In addition, I also have a beauty shop covering an area of 1,000 square meters, plus 3-foot bath shops. Damn it! Lu Jiuzhang's jaw almost dropped in shock. So rich? No. Are you trying to protect yourself? When he signed the contract just now, Lu Jiuzhang was wondering why the other party was so generous. At that time, Lu Jiuzhang thought there was a flaw in the contract, but after carefully reviewing it for a long time, he didn't find anything wrong with the contract. Turns out he was waiting here. Don't worry, I have a good temper and will treat you well. If you stay with me, I can give you 150,000 yuan a month. No, 200,000 yuan, Sister Chen said. If the sister you serve is satisfied, we will be together after a long time. It's no problem to give you a building. As for the car, I don't want to buy a luxury car as long as it can be driven. I can give you this Bentley. If you don't want to drive a second-hand car, I can also buy you a Cullinan. This? How flattered. 200,000 a month is 2.4 million a year. As for a building in a commercial street, its value is not low. Take the shop that Lu Jiuzhang rented just now. There are 5 shops on the first floor. Each shop has an area of about 100 to 150 square meters and is worth at least 10 million. The second and third floors are restaurants. The area is also not small, and the rent is not cheap. Above the third floor, there is commercial housing. Even if the housing price is not as good as that of shops, it will not be too low. Overall, a building is worth at least 50 million. This is still the most conservative estimate. If someone sincerely buys it, the price may be 60 million or even 70 million. If Lu Jiuzhang had not obtained the system, Lu Jiuzhang would have fallen long ago. Do you think the money is a little short? Seeing that Lu Jiuzhang didn't speak for a long time, Sister Chen continued to ask, I can give you an additional tens of thousands every month. How about 250,000? Xiao Lu, you can't be too greedy. This money is already a lot. If you open a photography store, excluding rent and other things, the net profit will be as much as 4 to 5 million yuan a year. And college students basically fail to start their own businesses, and you may still be in debt. Becoming a sister's man, not only will there be no risk at all, but there will also be millions in profits every year. You should think about it carefully. Ahem. Lu Jiuzhang coughed twice. Sister Chen, I am not this kind of person. Do you still feel like you have less money? Sister Chen is a little disappointed. Today's young people are really open-minded. She also gave Lu Jiuzhang so much money because he was young and handsome. If she is still not satisfied, then Sister Chen will give up. The maximum is 300,000. If you don't agree, forget it. Sister Chen was unwilling to give up and asked again. Sister Chen, it's not about money. Lu Jiuzhang said with a sad smile. Then you think there is something wrong with me, that I am old? Sister Chen said. If you were a young girl, do you think I will give you money? Sister Chen, it's not your fault. You're quite nice, and you're pretty. Lu Jiuzhang smiled and said, I have someone I like, and he's from our school. And I don't lack this little money either. There is really no shortage. After obtaining the system, Lu Jiuzhang had more than 1 billion in funds. The second phase of the task will be completed soon, and the system will reward another 2 billion. Lu Jiuzhang has more than 3 billion on his body. Don't you lack this little money? Sister Chen looked at Lu Jiuzhang and couldn't believe it. How much money can you have as a student? I'll keep this a secret, but hundreds of thousands a month will definitely not move my heart. Sister Chen, I'm either going to be a lion, or you just give me a building, and I won't be moved. Lu Jiuzhang said. All right. Sister Chen was a little disappointed. Judging from Lu Jiuzhang's tone, it seemed that he was really rich. If Lu Jiuzhang agreed, then what he said just now would mean nothing. But now that Lu Jiuzhang rejected him, it seemed a little awkward for the two of them to be in the same car. Sister Chen, where do you live? Lu Jiuzhang took the initiative to ease the atmosphere. It's not far from Good University, about 3 kilometers to the south. Sister Chen said, my daily job is to visit my properties. You are renting a house today, and I happen to be at the property, so I will let you directly come up. Oh. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. This was not what he wanted to ask. Sister Chen, how is the environment in your community? Environment? It's not bad. Our community can be regarded as a high-end residential area in the ancient capital. The average price is 70,000 per square meter. The houses are mainly large flats, single-family villas, and townhouses. Many celebrities have bought houses here. Sister Chen introduced. What? You want to buy a house in my community? We have this plan. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. TSK, yes, the young man has good eyesight. Sister Chen smiled and nodded. In order to avoid disturbing you, I also bought the large flat floor next door to you. and I can sell it to you. The market price is about 72,000 per square meter, and the total area is 240 square meters. I can give you a discount of 2,000 per square meter, which means the total price is 16.8 million. If Lu Jiuzhong lived next to him, he might have excessive hormone secretion one day, and things would happen. You are a young man. You are full of blood. That is understandable. The more Sister Chen watched it, the more she liked Lu Jiuzhong. She thought this young man was pretty good. Ahem, we'll talk about it then. Lu Jiuzhong agreed without a word. Ding dong. At this time, Lu Jiuzhong's cell phone rang, and it was a message from Lin Weiner. She sent a good morning. Lu Jiuzhong opened his phone and replied, "Is this your little girlfriend?" Sister Chen looked at it and asked with a smile, "How does she look? Do you have any photos?" "Not my little girlfriend, but I have a few photos." Lu Jiuzhong opened the photo album on his mobile phone. When taking photos before, he also took a few photos of Lin Weiner with his mobile phone. Then, I transferred all the photos from the old phone to the new phone. Lu Jiuzhong showed Sister Chen a few glances at the photos on his phone. TSK, it's so beautiful. Sister Chen couldn't help but praise. It's full of collagen, so tender. Unlike me, my skin starts to loosen after that age. No wonder the boy in front of him is not interested in me, considering he already has such a beautiful little girlfriend. Are you chasing someone? Sister Chen asked. It's not like chasing. I think it's almost certain, but she still wants to wait. Lu Jiuzhong said. Wait a minute. It won't be hanging on you, right? Sister Chen warned. You have to be careful. Many girls now use such names to deceive boys. Probably not. I think she is pretty good. Lu Jiuzhong explained. She has never been in love before. She just wants a sincere relationship. Ahem. You young people are so strange. I can't understand it more and more. Sister Chen sighed. While the two were talking, the car had already arrived in front of the community. This community is called Nanqing Daijing, and it is one of the most high-end communities in the ancient capital. Housing prices in the ancient capital are naturally inferior to those in first-tier cities, such as God's capital and Magic City. The average price of a house is about 16,700 to 20,000. The average price of Daijing community in Nanqing is about 3.5 times higher than the average price of houses in the ancient capital. This house was built, to put it bluntly, to attract wealthy people from the ancient capital in Qin. A large part of those rich people were once coal bosses in the north of Qin dynasty. Their standard for buying things is not the best, but the most expensive. Of course, the environment of Nanqing Daijing is indeed not bad. After entering the community, under clear weather, Lu Jiuzhong could even look at the Lingxin Mountains to the south. The air here is much fresher than in the center of the ancient city. Let's go, come and visit my house first. Sister Chen actively invited. Will you go to Sister Chen's house as soon as you arrive? Don't you have any evil intentions? Sister Chen, why don't we go to the sales office first? Lu Jiuzhong asked. Sales office? Phew, are you afraid that I'll eat you? Sister Chen couldn't help but smile. Don't worry, I'm not the only one in my family. There's also a nanny. The child also lived with me before, but recently, because my ex-husband was making trouble, I sent the child back to her grandparents' house to avoid the limelight for a while. It's better to go to the sales office first. Lu Jiuzhong shook his head. Forget it. It's up to you. Sister Chen smiled and drove Lu Jiuzhong directly to the sales office. The houses here have been built, but they have not been sold out yet. After all, a house sells for tens of millions. Before arriving at the sales office, Sister Chen made a phone call to inform them. When the two of them arrived, there was already a lady waiting at the sales office. The young lady was wearing a black women's suit. She was tall and had her hair tied up, looking quite capable. She has good looks. If I had to compare, Lin Weiner would score 9 points, and she should have around 8 points. To work in the sales industry, you either have to be good at talking and smooth talking, or you have to be pretty. Sometimes you have to admit that being beautiful has advantages, and they have big advantages. Hey, Sister Chen, you are here. Seeing Sister Chen, the woman in a black women's suit came over with a smile and said in welcome, Sister Chen, this handsome guy is the gentleman who wants to buy a house you mentioned on the phone just now, right? Yes. Sister Chen nodded. Take us in and sit down. Okay. The woman led the two of them into the lobby of the sales office, where there was a huge sand table, and the entire Nanqing Daijing house was on this sand table. The houses in Nanqing Daijing are selling well, but there are not many houses left, and all the good houses and good locations have been selected, so the layout of the remaining houses may not be very good. The woman first talked candidly about the problems existing in these houses. They're all rich people. If you don't explain this clearly, People will definitely be angry when they see that those houses are not good. Ordinary people can still fool people, but in front of such rich people, it is better to give up this idea as soon as possible. Look, I told you if I sell you the big flat next to me, it's over. Sister Chen said, the layout and lighting of the room next to me are both good. I'd better take another look. Lu Jiuzhang looked at the saleswoman. Are there any single-family villas left? Single-family villa? The saleswoman's eyes suddenly lit up. Of course there is. She excitedly walked to the location of the single-family villas in the sand table and said, these villas have not been sold yet, and the price is about 70 million. The more expensive the house sold, the higher her commission. When a single-family villa is sold, the commission can be hundreds of thousands at least. This is no small amount. Single-family villa? Is this kid so big-hearted? Sister Chen muttered to herself. Let's go see it on site first. Lu Jiuzhang said. You won't be able to tell anything just by hearing what the salesperson says. By the way, bring the contract. Lu Jiuzhang added before leaving. If it's suitable, we'll sign the contract on the spot. This? The sales lady was shocked. Is it a one-and-done deal and be finalized on the spot? What? No. Lu Jiuzhang asked. Of course, sir, no. Boss, I'm going to get the contract now. You wait for me in the lobby. After that, the saleswoman hurried to the manager's office. At this time, the sales manager was in the office talking to distinguished guests. This distinguished guest plans to purchase 2 large flat-floor houses in the community. The price of these 2 sets of large flats is not cheap, around 34 million. The guest felt that the price was a bit high and asked the manager to lower the price to 30 million. The distinguished guest has come several times and discussed this matter several times. It can be reduced to 32 million at most. It can't be lower. The manager said solemnly, Mr. Su, this is the lowest price our boss can give. You are also an engineer, so you should know that the profits of real estate are not high. Let's talk about the cost of buying land first. When bidding to buy land, the land cost alone will cost billions. Then factor in labor costs, material costs, and taxes. In fact, our company's profits have been compressed. It's very low. A sudden loss of 2 million is already good. If they lose 2 million, the real estate company behind them will lose 2 million in net profit. This is no small sum of money. When we first built this building, we made cost estimates and calculated expected profits, and it was roughly calculated that the net profit of the building in the community was about 20%. Real estate profits are not as exaggerated as everyone imagines. 55% of the house price will be taken away by various taxes and fees, plus many costs. The total is about 30% to 40%. Generally, real estate companies build a community and their net profit is only 10% to 15%. Their community is pretty good, with a relatively high profit of 20%, which is unusual in the industry. Manager, you are not sincere in lowering the price. The middle-aged man with a big belly called Mr. Su said, although your net profit is small, your real estate company has a big portfolio, and this property is small. It must be worth 20 to 30 billion, right? Even if the net profit is 20%, there will be a net profit of 6 to 7 billion. Is it more if it is less than 2 million? Squeak. While the two were talking, the door was pushed open. The sales lady, who had received Lu Jiuzhang before, came in. Seeing the tall figure of this sales lady, Mr. Su's eyes lit up with a big belly. Why hadn't he seen such a beautiful girl in the sales department before? Who is this? Mr. Su asked. Xiao Lu, an employee of our sales department. This is Mr. Su. The manager introduced with a straight face. This is a critical moment for price negotiation. What is one of your subordinates doing here? So mean-spirited? Is something wrong? If nothing happens, go out first and don't interrupt me to talk about business. The manager rolled his eyes at the sales lady. Manager, I have a contract that a customer wants to sign, Xiao Lu said hurriedly. Then you shouldn't interrupt my conversation. Xiao Lu, you've been working in our sales department for a while. You can't be called an old employee, but your qualifications are pretty good. Are you so incompetent? The manager scolded. No. What are you doing? Mr. Su saw that the pretty girl in front of him was being bullied and hurriedly stood up for her. Manager, that's too much. This little girl is a girl. Why are you trying to hurt her? Xiao Lu, right? Sit down, come to me. Mr. Su patted the seat next to him, with some evil intentions in his eyes. When buying a house, what rich people like to do is to buy the sales lady along with her and take her away with her when she is done. This is nothing new. Not to mention anything else, a commission is enough for those female employees to earn a lot. This can be regarded as an open transaction. Mr. Su, manager, there is indeed something important. Xiao Lu almost cried anxiously. What if Mr. Lu gets impatient and the order goes bad? Why are you crying? Can't you just say it slowly if you have something to say? The manager scolded again. What? What? Can't you be polite? Mr. Su glared at the manager. Yes, Mr. Su, you are right, the manager nodded hurriedly. After all, he was a distinguished customer who was about to buy a house, so the manager was still very polite. There is a gentleman who wants to buy our single-family villa and is waiting at the door. Xiao Lu said. He wants the contract now. He said he had seen it through and signed the contract directly. What? The manager was not calm. Just buy a villa without even talking about it? This is too arrogant. In contrast, the distinguished guest in front of me was bargaining and haggling, just like one day at a time. Xiao Lu, what's the matter with you? Why didn't you tell me earlier about such an important situation? The manager quickly took out a contract for a single-family villa from the drawer. Mr. Su, please forgive me. I'm really a big customer this time. I must be present when signing the contract for the villa. This is stipulated by the boss. Please stay here for a moment. The manager apologized. I'll go with you, Mr. Su said. Many people buy a house just for the sales girl. He wants to see which boss is so courageous that he would buy a villa directly to seduce the sales girl. He knew that the house prices in Nanjing Daijing were definitely not cheap. A single-family villa would cost at least 60 to 70 million. You can buy almost 4 sets of large flats. Then let's go together. The manager asked Xiao Lu to lead the way, and then a group of people walked to the lobby. When he saw Sister Chun, the manager hurried over and said, Sister Chun, are you here? Well, let me look at the house with one of my little brothers. Sister Chun said, Is it this gentleman? The manager bent down and shook hands with Lu Jiuzhang. At this time, Xiao Lu and Mr. Su from the sales department arrived belatedly. The moment he saw Lu Jiuzhang, Mr. Su secretly finished. For such a young and handsome young man, there is absolutely no comparison with him. The sales lady next to him is so beautiful, he may not be able to bear it. This sales lady is probably already in someone's pocket. Let's go and see the villa. Lu Jiuzhang walked at the front. The manager followed Lu Jiuzhang respectfully. After leaving the sales hall, the manager wanted to sit in Sister Chen's car and introduce the situation of the villa to Lu Jiuzhang. But under Sister Chen's unkind eyes, the manager obediently sat in the car, leading the way. In the Bentley, Sister Chen finally came to her senses. Her tenant really wanted to buy a single-family villa, one worth tens of millions. After the two left, the salesman in the hall started talking about it. Who is that handsome guy? He is so rich. He wants to buy a villa in our community. A female salesperson became curious. The handsome guy is so young. How can he afford it? A saleswoman said disdainfully. Have you seen the lady next to him? I have some impression of this lady. Her surname is Chun. She is very rich. I guess it was this rich woman named Chun who bought it for this kid. Hiss, is the rich woman so rich? The gossiping saleswoman next to her gasped. What's going on? Didn't you notice that the handsome boy looks good? If I were rich, I would definitely keep a handsome boy. Not to mention buying a villa. I would arrange all kinds of luxury cars and watches for him. But why don't you have money? It's better to find a rich old man. In front of the villa, Lu Jiuzhang took a look at the location of the villa. Although it was in the same community, it was still some distance away from the flat floor and the townhouse. The 3 different house types should be separated, and the whole is divided into 3 areas without interfering with each other. The view of the Lingqin Mountains is clearer from the villa. Under the blue sky and white clouds, the green and towering mountains reach into the sky. The manager opened the door of the villa and introduced the situation of the villa to Lu Jiuzhang. Boss Lu, our villa has a total area of 850 square meters and a 150 square meter garden as a bonus. The entire villa has 4 floors in total, 3 above ground and 1 underground. The villa has been finely decorated. If you're not satisfied, you can also renovate it. The entire villa is currently decorated in a Chinese style. If you want decorated in a European style, we will introduce you to a professional decoration team. No, the Chinese style is just fine. Lu Jiuzhang waved his hand. Chinese-style decoration is also full of beauty, light and simple, balanced between reality and elegant in color. Lu Jiuzhang thinks it is far better than European style. The manager nodded and took Lu Jiuzhang to visit the entire villa. Sitting in the living room of the villa, the manager said, the price of this villa is 70 million. If it is paid in full, we can give a discount of 2 million, which is 68 million. Good. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. This? The manager was stunned for a moment. It stands to reason that customers will generally bargain. This was the first time he had seen such a generous person. Mr. Liu, can you sign the contract today? The manager asked cautiously. Because previous customers were often picky, even if they brought the contract in advance, it would be difficult to sign it within one day. Especially the contract for this kind of villa involves tens of millions at once. Generally, if it takes 10 days and a half, it is considered normal. Take Mr. Su, who is following him, as an example. The two sets of large flat floors have been debated for a month and have not been finalized yet. Isn't it just for the purpose of signing the contract? Lu Jiuzhang asked rhetorically. The manager was overjoyed and hurriedly took out the contract. Those who sign the contract are required to pay a 15% deposit in advance, which is 10.2 million, and the remaining balance must be paid within a week. 10 million is really not much for Lu Jiuzhang. Can't you just pay it off today? Lu Jiuzhang asked. Of course, Mr. Lu. The manager was overjoyed. I will send you our company account number now. You can transfer the money to our company's account. After the verification is completed, the contract will take effect from today. Lu Jiuzhang picked up the pen and signed his name on the contract. When the system awarded the reward, Lu Jiuzhang had already been given permission to transfer large amounts. Lu Jiuzhang transferred 68 million to the other company's account through online banking. During this period, I lost the verification code many times. Online bank transfers are quite troublesome. In the future, you should try to transfer money at the bank's counter. After all, you are a big customer. You can use the green channel at the bank, and you should be able to transfer money quickly. About half an hour later, the manager received a call from the company, saying that the transfer had been received. Mr. Liu, you will be the owner here from now on. The manager said excitedly. The property in the community also belongs to our company. Since you have paid in full, our company has decided to waive your property fees for another 3 years. The property fee for such a single-family villa is not cheap, at least several $100,000 a year. At least nearly $1 million less in expenditures in 3 years. Mr. Su on the side looked jealous. What's more, he asked the sales department to reduce the amount by several million, which is even more difficult to achieve. Boss Liu didn't even need to mention it. The sales department took the initiative to give him a discount. Okay, Mr. Liu, I won't disturb you anymore. If you have any needs, you can contact me as soon as possible. After the manager said this, he left happily. Before leaving, the manager glanced at Xiao Lu. This girl actually has no intention of leaving. But who is the manager? He has long been used to this kind of scene. He probably saw that Mr. Liu was so rich and wanted to cling to Mr. Liu. This is normal. The manager will not ruin someone's future. Ahem. The manager said, Xiao Lu, Mr. Liu is our big customer. He must be very busy just after moving in today. Please help Mr. Liu tidy up the villa. Tomorrow. No, you don't have to go to work these days. Mr. Liu is dedicated to serving us. The manager said. He could see the thoughts of Xiao Lu from the sales department at a glance, so he deliberately created opportunities for him. Okay, manager, Xiao Lu said excitedly. Isn't she just waiting for a justifiable excuse to stay here? Okay, Mr. Liu, Ms. Chun, I'll leave first. The manager and Mr. Su walked out of the villa gate. In the room, only Sister Chun, Lu Jiuzhang, and Xiao Lu from the sales department were left. TSK, my younger brother is so awesome. I feel ashamed to be my elder sister. Sister Chun said with emotion. It all seemed like a dream, and people bought tens of millions of villas in one go. Fortunately, she thought it was not easy for college students to start a business, so she exempted Lu Jiuzhang's rent by more than 100,000 yuan. Aren't these hundreds of thousands a drop in the bucket compared to 68 million? Sister Chun, we will be in the same community from now on. Please keep in touch when you have time. Lu Jiuzhang said. Hey, I wanted you to live next door to me, but I didn't expect that you would fall short. Sister Chun shook her head. You go ahead and work, I'll go back and rest for a while. If you get bored at night, you can call my sister. You can hit me anytime, even in the middle of the night. Apart from the nanny, there are no outsiders in my sister's house these days. Sister Chun blinked and left. Now, there were only 2 people left in the villa. The opportunity has arrived. Xiao Lu from the sales department took the initiative to take off his suit and wore only a white shirt. She unbuttoned the top 2 buttons of her dress, exposing as much of her snow-white skin as possible. Mr. Lu, it's a little hot in the room. Xiao Lu made an excuse for himself. Aren't you going to help me clean it? Let's start from the negative floor first. Lu Jiuzhang said. Okay, Mr. Lu. Xiao Lu nodded. She regretted a little. If she had known she could place an order today, she would have been better off wearing black stockings. Balenciaga is a man-killing tool. The women's suit and trousers she is wearing now reveal nothing and are not attractive at all. You clean up slowly, and I'll go out for a while. Lu Jiuzhang said, when you finish cleaning, just leave. Huh? Xiao Lu didn't react for a while. Such a good opportunity to be alone together. Mr. Lu actually left? Mr. Lu? Aren't you staying here? Xiao Lu asked. I'm going back to Goody University to take care of some things. Lu Jiuzhang said. Don't we need to buy furniture? Although the room is well decorated, it is still empty inside. After buying the furniture, I estimate that I can move in tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I will graduate from college soon, and now I have a house and a place to live. After the second phase of rewards is released, Lu Jiuzhang will buy another car, which will make it convenient to go to the photography store. You clean up well, and then I'll treat you. Treat you to a meal? Lu Jiuzhang said. After that, Lu Jiuzhang left. In the villa, only Xiao Lu was left. Want to treat me to dinner? I'm not satisfied. Xiao Lu murmured to himself. I can eat people, especially men. For Lu Jiuzhang, she was bound to win. Being able to easily buy a villa worth tens of millions means that Mr. Lu's net worth is at least over 1 billion. If you can get on with it, and you will have nothing to worry about for the rest of your life, why would you be a sales girl? He suddenly became a rich man. It would be great if she could become Mr. Lu's wife, but if she couldn't, that would be okay. After being together for a while, and trying to make millions from him, that would be good too. After leaving the community, Lu Jiuzhang prepared to take a taxi and go to Goody University. But this place was too remote. Lu Jiuzhang waited for a long time, but no online car-hailing service passed by. Buying a car must be done as early as possible, otherwise it will be too troublesome. Didi. Suddenly, a car horn sounded next to Lu Jiuzhang. It was a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, priced at about 6 to 7 million. The car window slowly lowered, and Mr. Su's head came out. Ahem, Boss Lu, do you want to go to the city? Can I give you a ride? Mr. Su was also surprised that someone who could buy a villa worth tens of millions in one go actually took a ride-hailing service at the door. This is too strange. Thank you, Mr. Su. Lu Jiuzhang took 3 steps at a time and got into Mr. Su's car. Naturally, a big boss like Mr. Su doesn't have to drive himself. There is a driver sitting in the driver's seat. Lu Jiuzhang and Mr. Su sat in the back row. Why don't Mr. Lu drive? It's difficult to take a taxi here. Mr. Su said. I don't have a driver's license yet. Lu Jiuzhang said awkwardly. To be precise, Lu Jiuzhang had a driver's license, but that was the driver's license he had before traveling through this world. The previous owner of this body did not have a driver's license. So Lu Jiuzhang definitely knows how to drive, but he just doesn't have a license. No driver's license? Strange. Mr. Su is a little confused. Such a rich person doesn't even have a driver's license. Mr. Su, please send me to Goody University, Lu Jiuzhang said. Mr. Lu is still a college student? Or is Mr. Lu's girlfriend a college student? Mr. Su glanced at Lu Jiuzhang. Still young people can play. How tender are female college students? I am a fresh graduate from Goody University. Lu Jiuzhang said. Mr. Lu is so young? Mr. Su was surprised. He had just graduated from college, and he liked to buy a luxury car, which really made others envious. When he graduated from college, he was a pitiful person. I was deceived at every turn at work. Asking for money, but no money. Asking for a girlfriend, but no girlfriend. It was so miserable. Well enough, Lu Jiuzhang said modestly. If Mr. Lu has any resources in school, you might as well introduce them to me. Mr. Su said with a smile. Especially the female students who are more beautiful, motivated, and want to make money. We don't have anything else but money. I don't know. Lu Jiuzhang shook his head. As soon as these words were spoken, Lu Jiuzhang suddenly thought of someone. If anyone knows me, there is one, ex-girlfriend Chuhan. This woman is obsessed with money. Although the two have broken up, Lu Jiuzhang cannot yet introduce his ex-girlfriend to others. Why? Mr. Su sighed. Actually, that Xiao Lu is pretty good, but Mr. Lu has already taken his fancy. Of course, Lu Jiuzhang understood what Mr. Su meant. Mr. Su misunderstood. I'm not interested in her. Not interested? Boss Lu, are you serious about this? Mr. Su said excitedly. I have people I like, and I'm not interested in anyone older than me. Lu Jiuzhang said bluntly. Mr. Su fell in love with everyone he saw and wanted to get hold of anyone who looked beautiful. But Lu Jiuzhang is not such a person. Boss Lu is very generous. I like to communicate with people like you. Mr. Su said excitedly. In this way, I still have a chance to win over Xiao Lu from the sales department. Well, I have something to do these 2 days. I'll invite Boss Lu to have a meal in the next 2 days and let's chat together. By the way, I'll call that Xiao Lu. Mr. Su smiled. He is a drunkard whose intention is not the wine, but the girl. Lu Jiuzhang was noncommittal. This place is not far from Goethe University, 3 or 4 kilometers away. Soon, Lu Jiuzhang arrived at the gate of Goethe University. The two said goodbye, and Lu Jiuzhang returned to Goethe University. He left the dormitory early in the morning and didn't come back until 3 or 4 in the afternoon. In the dormitory, Zhao Chuan and Li Tao were bored and stayed by the window to look at the girl with binoculars. Knowing that Lu Jiuzhang and Lin University's campus beauty were close, the two of them did not let Lu Jiuzhang go over to look at the big white legs together. Lao Lu, my money is already in place. Zhao Chuan said, I had a chat with my mother, and my mother has already transferred the money to my card. Li Tao also has money with him. When do you think construction will start? The two of them scraped together a total of 30,000 yuan. I have already chosen the location of the photography shop. I want to rent the house this morning. Lu Jiuzhang said, it is on the commercial street 2 or 3 kilometers away from our school. Commercial street? The rent is not cheap. Zhao Chuan said, do we have enough money? Don't worry, I have rented the house, and the money is your investment. Lu Jiuzhang said, already rented? Sign a half-year contract. Li Tao also asked, for 1 year, the landlord is so nice that he exempted me from a rent of more than 100,000 yuan, which is almost 350,000 yuan a year. Lu Jiuzhang said, damn, it's so expensive. Zhao Chuan looked at the little money he had and realized that 10,000 yuan was enough to pay 10 days' rent. Old Lu, be careful, Zhao Chuan advised. Don't worry, I have already paid the rent. This little money is nothing to me. Lu Jiuzhang said. The system previously asked for financing of 100,000 yuan. Lu Jiuzhang roughly calculated that it would cost about 1 million to open a photography store. In other words, Lu Jiuzhang holds almost 90% of the shares, and by Xiaorong, Zhao Chuan, and Li Tao hold about 10% of the shares. However, Lu Jiuzhang does not lack this share. As long as you can successfully raise funds and get rewards from the system, you can make more money than opening 100 photography shops. Bai Xiaorong has some skills. Let's count it as a technical investment. She invested 70,000 yuan, which theoretically only holds 7% of the shares. Give her a little more to get 10%. Let's give the two roommates together 5% of the shares. It's not much money anyway. Lao Lu, have you made it? Zhao Chuan said in surprise. The rent of more than 300,000 yuan was paid immediately. It's not like I paid it off. I bought a lottery ticket and won a jackpot worth tens of millions. Lu Jiuzhang casually made up a lie. Bah, can you tell the truth? Zhao Chuan didn't believe it. Want to hear the truth? I can make one up for you on the spot. Lu Jiuzhang said with a smile. Forget it. Since you didn't tell me, I didn't bother to ask. Zhao Chuan did not continue to pursue it, but said, can you reserve a quieter place for me in the photography store? If you are busy, I can help you. I'll take care of things in the store. If I'm not busy, I'll read a book. That's no problem. The store is very large. It shouldn't be difficult to carve out a room for you. Lu Jiuzhang agreed. As I said before, we are all roommates, so it doesn't matter if we have separate rooms. After all, the store is quite large. Then I need to be equipped with a better computer. I will do online operations, promote our store, and I will definitely edit some videos. Li Tao said, that's no problem. I'll equip you with a desktop computer worth about 10,000 yuan and a better grade laptop. These requirements are not a problem for Lu Jiuzhang. A desktop computer priced at 10,000 renminbi is not bad at all. It's no problem playing those large online games, let alone editing videos. Next, it mainly depends on Bai Xiaorong. If her money arrives, the task will be completed. The three of them have reached an agreement, and Li Tao and Zhao Chuan are ready to fight with Lu Jiuzhang. How can we not make trouble while we are still young? At dinner time, Lu Jiuzhang planned to wait for Lin Wanner downstairs in the girls' dormitory. But she said that Lu Jiuzhang didn't need to wait specially. They could just meet at the door of the restaurant. The college beauty is so considerate. Lu Jiuzhang went straight to the door of the restaurant and waited for about 2 or 3 minutes before Lin Wanner arrived. When I left the dormitory, I forgot to take my meal card, which delayed me a bit. Lin Wanner apologized. Hearing this, Lu Jiuzhang was shocked. This is so thoughtful. Such a girl is the ideal in the world. Being 2 or 3 minutes late is no big deal, right? Downstairs in the girls' dormitory, Many boys waited for more than half an hour before their girlfriends arrived belatedly. Lu Jiuzhang looked indifferent. It's a small matter. Come on, come in. Whatever you want to eat today, I'll treat you. Let's have something to eat. Do you have time in the evening? Lin Weiner asked. I want to go to the supermarket and buy some daily necessities. I will graduate in the next 2 days. I thought I would be able to use toothpaste for graduation, but I didn't expect it. A few days away. Then let's get together tonight. I just plan to go out and buy some furniture. Lu Jiuzhang said. Buying furniture? Lin Weiner was stunned. Why are you buying this? I bought a new apartment and plan to buy a set of furniture. Lu Jiuzhang said. It is empty. There is nothing. Okay, I'll accompany you. Lin Weiner nodded. I can also help you with your advice. The two walked into the restaurant as they talked. After eating something casually, the two of them went straight outside the school, took a taxi to a nearby subway station, and then took the subway to a furniture city in the northern suburbs. Beijiao Furniture City is considered the largest furniture market in the northwest region, and all famous domestic and foreign furniture stores have stores here. There is a dazzling array of various furniture products inside, and there is an endless stream of people coming and going. By the time Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Weiner arrived at the door of the furniture market, it was already an hour later. The furniture in this store is pretty good. My parents ordered furniture from this store before. In the furniture market, Lin Weiner pointed to a store and recommended it. Then come to this place. Lu Jiuzhang walked into a store. There were many guests inside, mostly couples looking at the furniture together. I feel good about this sofa set. It can be placed in the living room. Lin Weiner walked to a sofa and sat down to try it out. She found it quite comfortable. Then buy it. Lu Jiuzhang didn't even look at the price and nodded in agreement. It was recommended by Lin University's campus beauty. No matter how unsightly it was, Lu Jiuzhang felt that he had to buy it. After all, the campus beauty of Lin University has spoken. Moreover, during this time together, Lu Jiuzhang's affection for Lin Weiner also doubled day by day. Clerk? Clerk? Lu Jiuzhang shouted. Hello, sir. After Lu Jiuzhang finished speaking, a shopping guide came over and took a look at the price of the sofa. It was mid to low end. The shopping guide immediately understood that the two people in front of him would not be able to buy much furniture in this trip. When a customer buys something, the shopping guide gets a commission. Generally, it is about 0.5% to 1% of the total price. If you sell something worth 10,000 yuan, you will get a commission of 50 yuan. It was sold for 100,000 yuan, only 500 yuan. This sofa set costs 8,000 yuan, and the commission is only 40 yuan. It is better to entertain other guests. Sir, miss, you can look at the other furniture, and I'll get an order. After that, the shopping guide left Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Weiner behind and walked to another part of the store to entertain other customers. Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Weiner continued to look at the furniture. This set of coffee tables is also good. They match well together. There is also this solid wood table. I think you could put a tea set on it. Sometimes you can make tea when guests come. And this one, the bean bag, I really like this kind of sofa. Lin Weiner felt so happy while shopping. After half an hour, she selected almost a dozen pieces of furniture. Lu Jiuzhang did the math and found that the price should be around 50,000. Even if it's not 50,000, it's still 47,800. Where's the shopping guide? Only then did Lin Weiner react. We've been walking around for a long time and have looked at everything. Why is the shopping guide missing? Lu Jiuzhang also looked around and found that the shopping guide was taking care of other customers, talking and laughing, and seemed very happy. Let's change it to another one. There is more than one shopping guide in the store. Lu Jiuzhang said. Since he doesn't want to come over and be a shopping guide for him, there's no need to force him. Su Rong is an intern shopping guide in a furniture store. She is a student at a nearby school, so she works part-time to earn some living expenses. Because she has little experience in society, she can't open her mouth and doesn't know how to communicate with customers, so she seems a little dull. Su Rong has been standing next to the front desk, watching the people coming and going, while learning how the senior shopping guides speak, and at the same time thinking about how to deal with it. Shop clerk. Suddenly, a sweet voice sounded. A very beautiful woman came over and said, "We want to buy furniture. Come and take a look. Are you calling yourself?" Su Rong quickly cheered up and walked to the extremely beautiful woman. "Miss, what do you want to buy?" "I want this, that, and that." The extremely beautiful woman pointed at some pieces of furniture and said. As soon as the extremely beautiful woman finished speaking, a handsome man came over and stood beside the woman, and the two stood side by side. For a moment, Su Rong was in a daze. These two feel like a match made in heaven. Su Rong took out a small notebook and carefully wrote it down in it. The model and name of the furniture must be recorded so that you can go to the front desk to check out later. After the statistics, Su Rong took a look and found that the total price was 47,888 yuan. She can get a commission of about 240 yuan. This is already a lot of money. Sir, I will take you to the front desk to check out now, Su Rong said. Not in a hurry. Lu Jiuzhang waved his hand. We still want to buy some. Still want to buy? Lin Wana glanced at Lu Jiuzhang. Logically speaking, an ordinary house would only need this much furniture. Too much furniture will take up space. Give me a set of this sofa. Lu Jiuzhang pointed to the sofa in front of him and said, Okay, sir. Su Rong nodded. This set of sofas is not bad. Give me one too. Lu Jiuzhang said. Sir, can I ask how big your house is? You have already ordered 2 sets of sofas. 3 sets will take up too much space. Su Rong said. She thinks from the customer's perspective. Most people's houses are about 100 square meters. Just 1 set of sofas is enough. But the other party wants 3 sets of sofas, which is too much. This question is also what Lin Wanner wants to ask. 3 sets of sofas. What are you going to do? She heard that Lu Jiuzhang wanted to open a photography shop. Could it be that he planned to put 2 sets of sofas in the photography shop? After all, the photography shop wants customers, and it's easy to talk about things if there is a sofa. Pretty big. Lu Jiuzhang replied. There is a large living room on the ground floor of the villa, which needs a sofa. And it's the kind of sofa that takes up a lot of space. Lu Jiuzhang plans to build the underground floor into a place for wine storage, entertainment, and leisure, and he will definitely need a sofa. The large terrace on the 2nd floor can also be equipped with a set of solid wood sofa-style seats for people to sit on. There is also this set, I want it all. Lu Jiuzhang looked at the bed again. 3 beds have been chosen for Lu Jiuzhang just now, and now a few more beds have been chosen. When Lin Wanner was about to persuade Lu Jiuzhang to be careful when buying, Lu Jiuzhang smiled and said, Don't worry, I definitely have a reason to buy it. Hearing this, Lin Wanner stopped talking. She believed that Lu Jiuzhang would not act without aim. The next furniture was all picked by Lu Jiuzhang. They wanted almost everything, making Lin Wanner feel like the entire furniture store was about to be emptied. This furniture store is very large, covering an area of about 200 square meters. Several people moved from east to west, and Lu Jiuzhang would buy almost all good things. This move also attracted the attention of other shopping guides. Buying so many things at once, even if you buy all middle and low-end furniture, will cost you a lot of money. That's pretty much it. How much does it cost? Lu Jiuzhang looked at Su Rong and asked, Sir, please wait a moment while I do the math. Su Rong picked up her cell phone, opened her calculator, and quickly calculated. After about a minute or two, Su Rong reported a number. Sir, the total is 387,600. When Lu Jiuzhang chose furniture later, he didn't care whether it was mid-range or high-end. I liked it and immediately bought it. The most expensive item is a sofa set, which costs almost 54,000 yuan. There are also several mahogany bed frames, each costing more than 30,000 yuan. So many. Lin Wanner was also surprised. The shopping guides around me were even more surprised. They bought more than 380,000 pieces of furniture at once, and the commission alone was as little as 2,000 yuan. Now go check out, Lu Jiuzhang said. Good. Su Rong was still in shock. She nodded dully and took Lu Jiuzhang to the counter to check out. Sir, it's me. As soon as the two of them reached the counter, a shopping guide intervened and squeezed Su Rong behind them. Who else could this shopping guide be if he wasn't the one who first entertained Lu Jiuzhang? Hello, sir. Xiao Su is an intern in our store. She didn't take good care of her. I hope for your understanding. Next, I will serve you, sir, the shopping guide said with a sad smile. She was not there when I was buying furniture, but came when I was paying the bill. She planned to take all the credit from Su Rong. That's a commission of nearly 2,000 yuan. The salary of a shopping guide is not high to begin with. The basic salary is only 2,500 yuan a month, and they all make money through commission. 2,000 yuan is a lot. This little girl, Su Rong, is just an intern. Why should she get so much commission? Sister, this customer is brought by me. Su Rong was anxious and said hurriedly, What you brought, I brought. It was originally a conversation between me and this gentleman, but something happened and delayed it. The female shopping guide glared at Su Rong. You are an intern. Just follow us and learn. Don't try to take the lead at any time. The shopping guide profession is very difficult. You should learn slowly first. After saying this, The female shopping guide looked at Lu Jiuzhang again. Sir, if there is no problem, I will sign the order. Did I give you face? Lu Jiuzhang's face was already gloomy. Sir, it was all a misunderstanding. When I went to get the order, I was entangled by other customers. I didn't pay attention, and this happened. I will definitely correct it in the future. This time we signed the order. Are you big boss? You must be very busy. Let's not waste time on such trivial matters. After the female shopping guide finished speaking, Su Rong beside her almost cried. That's 2,000 yuan. She is a part-time college student and an intern shopping guide, and her salary is not much. If I have this order, I won't have to ask my family for living expenses for at least 2 months. The female shopping guide didn't take Su Rong's emotions seriously at all and signed her name on the list. Sir, do you think you need to pay by credit card? The female shopping guide asked with a smile. When things got to this point, Lin Wanner couldn't stand it anymore. We only recognize Miss Su. We don't recognize the signatures signed by others. Lin Wanner always likes to confront such shameless women. Lin Wanner has never seen such a shameless person. Shamelessly and confidently. Isn't that necessary? The female shopping guide's face turned cold. She is a newcomer and does not have all kinds of permissions. I'm an old employee and can give you some discounts. If the conversation is happy, I will even give you employees' internal price about 10% off plus free delivery to your door. For 380,000 yuan of furniture, if you give it a 10% discount, you will at least pay 38,000 less. Plus the furniture will be delivered to your door for free. 40,000 yuan is not too much, right? If I sign the bill for you, I can save you 40,000 yuan, but if she does it, there won't be a single cent of discount. The female shopping guide looked at Su Rong sarcastically, her eyes seeming to say, You're just a trainee shopping guide. What can you do to compete with me? Hearing this, Su Rong was also a little disheartened. Yes, that's 40,000 yuan. How could she, an intern shopping guide, get such great authority? Moreover, her annual basic salary adds up to less than 30,000 yuan. 40,000 yuan is already very tempting to many people. Do you think I'm short of the 40,000 yuan? Lu Jiuzhang smiled. He has a deposit of 1.1 billion. Even after deducting the 68 million he spent to buy a villa, there is still more than 1 billion left. In front of so much money, 40,000 yuan is really not enough. If it were 4 million to 40 million, Lu Jiuzhang might still consider it. Sir, no matter how short of money you are, this 40,000 yuan is not a small amount for an ordinary family, right? The female shopping guide sneered. I'm sorry, I don't come from an ordinary family. 40,000 yuan. I really don't need it. Lu Jiuzhang looked at Su Rong. You signed the bill. I don't recognize the signatures of others. In addition, my family still needs to customize many things, which are your responsibility. For custom-made furniture, we don't seek the best, but the most expensive. Money is not an issue. 68 million have been spent, and it would be nothing to spend millions more on decoration. No matter how expensive it is, it's impossible, and furniture stores can't get such top-notch materials. It's impossible to pave the floor with diamonds, right? Their furniture stores can't get that many diamonds. There must be an upper limit on the price of materials. In the ancient capital, tens of millions of dollars for decoration is not bad. As for the many pieces of furniture bought in the store, most of them were selected by the beauty of Lin University. No matter how cheap it is, Lu Jiuzhang still likes it. Love the house and the woman. Thank you, Mr. Lu, Su Rong said excitedly. The female shopping guide looked ferocious and was very angry. Even though we gave such a huge discount, the other party was still not satisfied. Ahem, a cough sounded. When things came to an end, the manager of the furniture store walked out. This manager is also a person who adapts to the situation and hides away from others when trouble comes. Apologize to Mr. Lu. The manager looked at the female shopping guide and said, I bought more than 400,000 yuan worth of furniture and still need to customize it, which shows that the area of the other party's home must not be small. This is a big customer. Never offend. Obviously, the female shopping guide has made Mr. Lu unhappy. Manager, the female shopping guide wanted to defend. Apologize. The manager demanded sternly. Sorry. The female shopping guide lowered her head and said to Lu Jiuzhang, Why are you apologizing to me? You didn't steal my order. Apologize to that little girl. Lu Jiuzhang corrected. Sorry. The female shopping guide lowered her head and said to Su Rong. The female shopping guide almost burst into tears. After working as a shopping guide for so many years, when had she ever suffered this kind of injustice? After saying these words, the female shopping guide ran away aggrieved. Until now, She still doesn't think she did anything wrong. Little fairy. She always feels that she is the center of the world, and everyone else revolves around her. Only the manager and Su Rong were left here. As for the custom-made furniture, you will send someone to my house tomorrow to measure it, and then come up with a design for me to take a look at. Lu Jiuzhang said, if there are no problems, I will choose your house to customize it. Okay, sir. The manager was overjoyed. Another business, the turnover keeps rising. Pay for the furniture now. I'll write down the address for you and send someone to deliver the furniture tomorrow. When Lu Jiuzhang paid, he wrote an address on the back of the slip. Afterwards, Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Wanner prepared to leave. Xiao Su, why don't you send the guests off? The manager hurriedly arranged. Mr. Lu, I'll see you off. Su Rong followed Lu Jiuzhang. She was quite grateful for what Lu Jiuzhang had just done, but she didn't know how to express it. As they approached the gate of the furniture mall, Lu Jiuzhang looked at Su Rong and said, your future is far greater than hers. The woman Lu Jiuzhang mentioned was the female shopping guide from before. She only has a high school education, so her future limit is just like this. But Su Rong is different. After graduating from college, she can take the postgraduate entrance examination and study for a PhD. Su Rong's upper limit is very high. Don't feel depressed. They're just scenery on the road of your life. Just move forward. There is no need to look back. Lu Jiuzhang smiled. Thank you, Mr. Lu, for enlightening me. Su Rong was grateful again. He is rich, a gentleman, and knows how to comfort people. Such a nice person. Later, Lu Jiuzhang and Lin Daxiao walked out of the furniture store. On the way, the campus beauty of Lin University joked, you can't tell. Our Mr. Lu has become a philosopher and can enlighten people. No, I just think she is still young and should not feel the cruelty of society in advance. Lu Jiuzhang said, a college student works part-time to earn living expenses. Children like this are quite good. Being bullied always makes me feel a little worried. Old-fashioned. You haven't just graduated from college? No, you haven't graduated yet. Lin Weiner said, it's coming, there are only a few days left. The school affairs are almost finished. Only the graduation ceremony remains. Some students have already left school early. Most people are still enjoying the last few moments of their college years. When I have time, I also want to go to your house. I bought so much furniture. Can it fit it? Lin Wanner said about business. Also, remember to accompany me to the supermarket later to buy some things for life. Supplies. No problem. Lu Jiuzhang nodded. The furniture store will deliver the furniture tomorrow, and we will go there together. You have chosen a lot of furniture, and you can see where it fits. TSK, I don't dare to say nonsense. I'm not the hostess of the room. Lin Wanner smiled and shook her head. Is there any difference? Wouldn't it be enough to count you as half a mistress? Why half? Half is just half. Why are there so many? The two chatted noisily and returned to the school gate, then went to the nearest supermarket and bought some daily necessities. It was getting late, so Lu Jiuzhang sent Lin Wanner back to the dormitory before going back. In the dormitory, for some reason, Zhao Chuan and Li Tao got into a fight. Son, with your urinary behavior, your father and I will be pissed to death sooner or later. Zhao Chuan cursed. Haha, grandson, if you dare to yell at your grandfather, you are not afraid of thunder. Li Tao yelled back. Hey, your great-grandson dares to climb the ranks in front of your great-grandfather? The great-grandson is wanton. The two started scolding each other, and their seniority was rising steadily. Lu Jiuzhang was confused. Were they alone in the dormitory all day and got sick? Or is it because you have been single for so many years and your mentality is abnormal? Ahem, what's wrong? I'm so angry. Lu Jiuzhang asked. What can happen? Zhao Chuan said angrily. We went out shopping just now, and we met two girls on the way back. I said the girl on the left in white clothes was beautiful, but he insisted on saying that the girl on the right in cyan clothes was beautiful. Li Tao also said angrily. Lao Lu, you come to judge. Who is the most beautiful? How do I know? I've never seen it. Lu Jiuzhang was speechless. Being able to argue over two girls is really awesome. When will you fall in love? Isn't it boring to do this all day long? Lu Jiuzhang asked. I want to find one too. I've always dreamed of having a girlfriend, Zhao Chuan said. Then you can talk about it. Lu Jiuzhang said. Can't find it, Li Tao echoed. The two were quarreling just now, and now they are colluding. Yeah, how do you find her? It's okay for me to talk to girls, but if we talk about private topics, I feel like I'll blush and my heart will beat. Zhao Chuan defended, it's so difficult. I think I'm just thin-skinned. But if you ask me to let go, I can't. Mainly, Zhao Chuan's situation is the dilemma of most people. I am thin-skinned and can't hold my face down. Li Tao is probably the same as him. Aren't you just chasing girls if you're afraid of having sex? You have to remember one thing. Most girls also want to find a partner, and they also want to be single, especially girls who have graduated several years ago. They are also anxious, but they are just being reserved on the surface. If you are not bold, do you still expect girls to chase you? Lu Jiuzhang analyzed. In the circle of friends and on short videos, a lot of girls are anxious to get out of singles. If you also want to be single, you might as well have a shameless private chat. Of course, the private chat must be a serious private chat. If you post sensitive content as soon as you go up, you will probably be blocked in the next second. After all, you are here to fall in love, not for a date. Sending too sensitive topics right off the bat can easily turn people off. That makes sense. Zhao Chuan nodded. Why don't you give me a goal? I heard you say, isn't it when I open a photography store that a girl also wants to participate in it? How is that, girl? How about you introduce me to me? Lu Jiuzhang shook his head. It is definitely impossible to introduce. You will meet in 2 days. If it is suitable, you can give it a try by yourself. But I don't recommend you to flirt with her. First, she has been out of society for a few years. What kind of man has she not seen? She is already past the age where she likes romance. Such a woman values material conditions and your abilities. Secondly, since you open a photography shop with me, you can't catch up with me even if you look up or down, or if you catch up with someone and they break up, wouldn't it be awkward to meet each other then? Lu Jiuzhang felt that since it was a partnership, it was the relationship between partners. Never develop additional relationships. It makes sense, then you can introduce me to another one. Zhao Chuan did not hesitate on this matter, but said, Old Lu, you can't favor one over the other. You have already introduced Zhao Chuan. Why can't you introduce him to me? Li Tao said, Where do I know so many girls? Lu Jiuzhang asked rhetorically. The previous owner of this body had similar personalities to Zhao Chuan and Li Tao. She looked shy on the outside, but is actually a bit sultry. After Lu Jiuzhang came through time travel, he only knew 4 girls. The first one was Chu Han, but Chu Han's money-worshipping character was obviously not the same as him. Next are the campus beauties of Lin University and Bai Xiaorong, as well as the rich Lady Chen. If we talk about introductions, we can only start from the roommates and best friends of Lin University's campus beauties. Bai Xiaorong is not very familiar with her, and Lu Jiuzhang is embarrassed to say it. As for Sister Chen, her best friend is probably quite young. I guess she might be a rich woman, but since my 2 roommates are average-looking, a rich woman might not be able to take a liking to them. Moreover, Lu Jiuzhang and Sister Chen only met each other once. I'll try my best. We're graduating soon. Lin Wanner's roommate is in the same class as us. I'll take the time to organize a party for the 2 dormitories of us to get together. Lu Jiuzhang could only say, the opportunity has been created for you. Whether you can succeed or not depends on you. Lao Lu, you are still reliable. Zhao Chuan fell to the ground with gratitude. Master Lu, if you say anything from now on, brother, I will definitely go to the sword or the sea of fire. To be honest, my parents have never worried about my partner. Li Tao is also moved beyond measure. If you consider calling me daddy, I will be more motivated when introducing you. Lu Jiuzhang joked. Damn it, don't go too far, Li Tao said with a dark face. You are going too far. Aha, stop making trouble, wash up early, and go to bed early. I have something to be busy with tomorrow. Lu Jiuzhang took the wash basin and toothbrush to wash up. When Lu Jiuzhang came back, he discovered that there were several more messages on his phone, most of which were from Lin Weiner, asking what Lu Jiuzhang was doing. I was chatting with my roommate just now and didn't bother to look at my phone, so I didn't reply. The remaining message was from Bai Xiaorong, asking Lu Jiuzhang how his preparations were in the past 2 days. Lu Jiuzhang first sent a message back to Lin Weiner, saying that he was washing up just now and didn't see the message. But as soon as his message was sent, Lin Weiner's message came back. So the 2 started chatting directly. As for the news about Bai Xiaorong, Lu Jiuzhang had long forgotten it. In this way, they chatted until late at night, and then the 2 reluctantly said goodnight. Lu Jiuzhang was so sleepy that he almost put down his phone and fell asleep. In the early morning of the next day, Lu Jiuzhang was woken up by a phone call. After answering the phone, the other party said that the furniture was delivered by the furniture store. At this moment, they were stopped by the guard and asked Lu Jiuzhang to talk to the guard and let them in first. After hanging up the phone, Lu Jiuzhang made a call to the property management and asked the community property management to notify the security guard to let him go. Then Lu Jiuzhong quickly put on his clothes, washed himself, and ran to the villa. By the time Lu Jiuzhong arrived, people from the furniture store had been waiting at the door of the villa for half an hour. "Sorry, I'm a little late." Lu Jiuzhong apologized. 3 unloaders and a driver, a total of 4 people. There was a car behind, and Su Rong was sitting in it. She came to measure the dimensions of Lu Jiuzhong's villa. "Boss, you're welcome. It doesn't matter if we wait a little longer." The masters didn't pay attention. With such a big villa, you can look like a big boss at first glance, so it doesn't matter if you wait for a while. "Let's do this, Xiao Su. I'll add you on WeChat and transfer some money to you. You'll go out in a while and buy a pack of cigarettes for each of the masters," Lu Jiuzhong said to Su Rong behind him. Lu Jiuzhong felt bad for having delayed others for so long. "Okay, Mr. Lu." Su Rong nodded. This is the first time Su Rong has seen such a large villa. When Lu Jiuzhong came to order furniture yesterday, Su Rong thought it would be a large flat floor at most, but she didn't expect it to be a single-family villa. A single-family villa in the ancient capital is not cheap. She might not be able to afford it after working for 10 years. "Mr. Lu, I have no idea what to do with such a big villa." Su Rong smiled bitterly. "It's okay. Don't worry. Just take your time and measure it." Lu Jiuzhong said, "Let me talk about my requirements first. The wardrobe must be customized Chinese style, and it must conform to the size of the house when customizing. The second is custom-made bookcases and wine cabinets. The kitchen also needs you to redo it and divide it into 2 areas, one for Chinese food and one for Western food. There are no requirements for the other things. Just go ahead and do it. First, measure the dimensions and then make the design. After I check it and it's okay, let's get started." This is really not much to ask for. Compared with those difficult customers, it is already very simple. However, it was Su Rong's first time doing this kind of project, so she still didn't understand it. Take the measurements first, then report the dimensions back, and see how the company handles it. Lu Jiuzhong opened the door of the villa and found that it had been cleaned up. Xiao Lu from the sales department probably had a lot of trouble yesterday. The master workers moved the furniture into the room and placed it. Ding! Lu Jiuzhong received a message from the campus beauty of Lin University, asking Lu Jiuzhong if he was up. "I got up early, and I'm already at the house." Lu Jiuzhong replied. "Early this morning, the master workers delivered the furniture. We chatted until midnight last night. I guess you won't be able to get up in the morning, so I didn't bother you and came over first. Take a taxi and come over here." "Good," Lin Wanner replied with one word, then immediately got up to wash up and put on makeup. TSK, college beauty, it's not even 9 o'clock yet. Why are you getting up to fall in love?" Lin Wanner's roommate was woken up and muttered, "So diligent." Lu Jiuzhong bought a new house. "I'm going to take a look," Lin Wanner said while cleaning up. "Yesterday, he was going to invite me, but today I got up too late." Hey, the sour smell of love," the roommate joked. "Going to see someone else's house now is a plan to live in it in the future, right? Now that it's done, you'll be comfortable living by yourself in the future, right?" Lin Wanner's face turned red with embarrassment. "Damn girl, if you keep talking nonsense, see if I don't tear your mouth apart. Don't let anyone talk about it anymore. It's so arrogant." The roommate continued to get into bed and went to sleep comfortably. There are only a few free days left. Take advantage of this time to take more rest. After a while, you will go to work. From 9 to 6, you also work overtime. Isn't it exhausting? After cleaning up, it was almost 9:30 in the morning. Lin Wanner hurried out of the school gate, took a taxi according to the location sent by Lu Jiuzhong, and went straight to Nanjing Daijing. Lu Jiuzhong had already greeted the community security guard, so when Lin Wanner came, the security guard let him go. When Lin Wanner was about to get out of the car and go in, she was stopped by the security guard. "Miss, you'd better go in by car," the security guard suggested. "The area inside is very large. It will take at least an hour to walk in." "It still takes an hour to walk to get there? Is the community so big?" After hearing the advice to have a full meal, Lin Wanner did not doubt that he was there. She quickly turned around and got into the online car-hailing car and asked the driver to drive a little further inside. After the security guard let him go, the car slowly drove into the community. Along the way, there are basically luxury cars worth millions. It couldn't be more unusual for someone like Lin Wanner to take more than 100,000 online ride-hailing rides. On the Lakeside Road, a white Maserati came oncoming. Sitting in the driver's seat was an 18 or 19-year-old woman, who probably had just obtained her driver's license not long ago. When she saw the online hailing car, the woman was a little angry and drove directly to stop the online hailing car. The woman had tattoos on her arms, took off her sunglasses, opened the door, and walked to the car-hailing car, and knocked hard on the door. "Who let you in?" The online ride-hailing driver hurriedly replied, "Miss, I'm sending a customer in." "Who are we calling, miss?" "Are you worthy?" The woman asked reluctantly. "Send a customer in. Which customer? Don't you know how to walk in? Are you worthy of an online car-hailing car in this high-end community?" Hearing this, Lin Wanner's expression changed. Isn't the road only for cars? Is it true that only luxury cars can travel on this road, and online car-hailing cars are not worthy of it? "You really don't deserve it," the flower-armed woman sneered. "You look pretty good. You came here to find a rich man, right? But what happens if you find a rich man? If you can't keep up with your temperament, you'll still be in vain." The security work of Nanjing Daijing is very strong. There are hundreds of security personnel on duty, riding in security vehicles and traveling through the community to protect the safety of the owners. The quarrel between the two quickly attracted the attention of the security guard. The security van stopped between the two cars. "You are here just in time. Drive this online car-hailing car out of here," the flower-armed woman said coldly. "Let these online hailing cars come in. You are not afraid that the price of the community will drop. If someone takes a video of it and sends it out, I don't know how it will be laughed at by outsiders. In the top residential area of the ancient capital, how can online taxis come and go?" As soon as these words came out, the security guard was in trouble. In the community security regulations, it seems that there is no prohibition on the entry and exit of online taxis. But the girl with flowery arms in front of me, driving a Maserati, must be the owner without a doubt. The owners asked to drive out the online ride-hailing cars, but they couldn't do it even if they didn't obey the order. After all, the owners here are wealthy people from the ancient capital and have many connections. Just when the security guard was in trouble, Lin Wanner also got out of the car and stared coldly at the flower-armed girl. "I want to see who dares to kick me out today." The two women were in a stalemate. It was even more difficult for these security guards to report the news quickly. "Let's wait for the boss to handle it. If this kind of thing is not done well, it will be in vain. The boss will handle it. If there is any problem, the boss will take responsibility." "What? I can't control you with my words, can I?" The flower-armed girl was so angry that she directly dialed a number and acted coquettishly to the person on the other end of the phone. "Husband, I was bullied." A few minutes later, a middle-aged man with a big belly rushed over in a Porsche sports car. As soon as we got off the car, the pot-bellied middle-aged man pointed at the security guard and cursed. "What the hell? I pay so much property fees every year, so I support you, the poor people." This pot-bellied middle-aged man was not easy to mess with at first glance, and several security guards lowered their heads. Fortunately, the property manager also rushed over. "Boss Wong, I'm sorry, but my subordinates don't understand the rules." The property manager smiled bitterly. "It is indeed against the rules for online taxis to enter this community. I will let them leave now." The manager wiped the sweat from his forehead. Boss Wong is engaged in engineering and has excellent relations with relevant departments. He didn't dare to offend easily. After saying this, the property manager looked at the security guards with a cold expression. "Who allowed the online car-hailing service to enter our community?" "Manager, it was the doorman who let him in. They said it was another owner who let him in." The security guard came over and lowered his voice. "It seems to be a new owner of a single-family villa. I heard from the sales department. People said that the single-family owner paid in full and settled on the same day." "What?" The property manager was stunned. He also heard about the owner who paid full price for a villa. He doesn't seem to be very old. To buy a house at such a young age, he must be the child of a big shot. Property managers immediately know how to measure. Ahem. The manager changed his face to a smile and said, "Boss Wong, this girl was also invited by the owner." "Oh." The pot-bellied boss Wong looked at Lin Wanner. "You don't know if you don't look at him, but you feel uncomfortable when you look at him." The woman in front of her was so beautiful. In comparison, the flower-armed girl she kept was like a candle. How dare candlelight compete with the sun and moon? Since it was invited by the owner, let them come in. Isn't it just an online car-hailing service? It's just a gift. While talking, Boss Wong looked at Lin Wanner with a leering look. Being stared at by this look, Lin Wanner felt a little nauseous. Just when Lin Wanner was about to speak, the flower-armed girl said first, "Husband, people are being bullied, and you still speak for others? It was fine just now. Why did it suddenly change?" Your elbow pointed towards an outsider? The flower-armed girl was also puzzled. "What husband? Have you and I obtained our certificates?" Boss Wong scolded. "We are friends at most, but I am single. If you keep talking nonsense, I will sue you for defamation. What? The flower-armed girl looked incredulous. Attitudes changed too quickly. I understand. This old man probably fell in love with the woman in front of him, so he deliberately distanced himself from the relationship between the two. After finally getting close to the old man, the flower-armed girl was unwilling to give up easily. Husband, what are you talking about? You called me sweetheart last night. I'm giving you shame? I said I'm not familiar with you. Can't you hear me? Boss Wong got angry and slapped the flower-armed girl on the face. Get out of here. Snapped. The sound of the slap was clear. The flower-armed girl covered her face and almost cried. She angrily prepared to get in the car and leave Nanjing Daijing. This car belongs to me. Do you want to drive it away? Get out of here. Boss Wong scolded. Snort. The flower-armed girl snorted coldly and had no choice but to walk outside on two legs. She felt a little regretful, and she would not have spoken randomly if she had known better. Not long after he attached himself to Boss Wong, he was driven away. The flower-armed girl has given herself 2 ears, so she must not talk nonsense in the future. On the same spot, Lin Warner finally understood. This flower-armed girl is the mistress of a rich man. I guess when I got close to Boss Wong in front of me, I mistakenly thought that I was the owner of this place. What to wear? Ahem. Miss, can you leave your contact information? Boss Wong asked with a smile. I have no other ideas. I just want to see if you have time, Mississippi. Can I ask you to have a meal? Sorry, I'm not free. After saying that, Lin Warner got in the car and wanted to leave. Boss Wong stopped in front of the car and said, Give me a chance. I'm a bit of a loser in the ancient capital. I know a lot of dignitaries. I guess you're not very old. There must be something unsatisfactory in your work and life. Don't worry. As long as you tell me, I will definitely help you. Money is a problem for other people, but it's never been a problem for me. Boss Wong said, 100,000 yuan. How about buying you and me a meal? Don't worry, it's just a meal, nothing else. I'm not interested in older men. Lin Warner refused again. If you still block the road, I won't rule out that I will call the police. Hey, call the police? What else will you do besides calling the police? Tell me, and I'll listen. Boss Wong asked with a smile. He also beats people. Suddenly, a magnetic voice sounded. Boss Wong looked back and saw a man walking over from a distance. The man was very young, about 20 years old. He walked slowly in front of everyone. Hit someone? Let me see how you beat him. Boss Wong provoked. Snapped. A slap hit Boss Wong on the face. That young man was Lu Jiuzhang. His words were neither humble nor arrogant, and he stared straight at Boss Wong. Lu Jiuzhang, you are here, Lin Warner said in surprise. At this critical moment, Lu Jiuzhang seemed to fall from the sky. Lin Warner was moved and hurriedly got out of the online car-hailing car and walked to Lu Jiuzhang's side. Don't worry, I will take care of it. After saying this, Lu Jiuzhang looked at the middle-aged man with a big belly and said coldly, It's amazing to have 2 bad guys. I'll slap you and give you 100,000. What do you think? The property manager who was watching the excitement understood. Hey guys, this is a meeting between the 2 owners. Ahem, both owners are from our community. Why get angry? The property manager smiled bitterly and tried to persuade them to make peace. Roll! Lu Jiuzhang and Boss Wong scolded the property manager in unison. Okay, you 2 can handle it yourself. The property manager quickly shut up. Those who can buy villas here are all big shots with great hands and eyes. If gods are fighting, he, a small property manager, should not get involved. Boy, 100,000 yuan is not enough to slap me in the face. At least 10 million is needed. Boss Wong narrowed his eyes and threatened, How about 100,000 yuan to send a beggar away? Snapped. Lu Jiuzhang slapped him again. 10 million is just 10 million. I don't take this kind of money seriously. Boy, do you dare? Boss Wong was angry. He was just testing it out, but who knew the other party would slap him again? To him, this was a naked insult. What are you afraid of? Lu Jiuzhang said with a smile. Giving you 2 slaps will help you remember. If you dare to cause trouble in the future, don't blame me for being rude. Lu Jiuzhang is the destined son of the system. Why should he be afraid of a boss? What's more, he is the boss of such an ancient capital. Looking at Huaxia and Blue Star, such a boss is not ranked at all. I was busy until the afternoon before putting all the furniture in accordance with Lin Warner's requirements. The workers and masters were all exhausted. Lu Jiuzhang originally wanted to give the master cash directly, but these days fewer and fewer people use cash. Lu Jiuzhang hadn't had cash on his body for several years. So, Lu Jiuzhang directly scanned the code and transferred 200 yuan in red envelopes to each of the three masters. When they saw the red envelopes, these worker masters were in high spirits. I have moved so many times, but you are still so generous, boss. The workers thanked him. You have been busy all morning. Lu Jiuzhang thought it was nothing. 200 yuan in red envelope is nothing. Any more will be impossible. It's not that Lu Jiuzhang is stingy. For the master workers, 200 yuan is already a lot. The work you do is worth the money. The size of the room was almost measured. Su Rong finished her work and said goodbye with the master workers. After they all left, Lin Wanner slumped down on the sofa. A big room has its own troubles. There are so many furniture and floors. Just scrubbing them every day takes a lot of time. You can hire a nanny. Lu Jiuzhang smiled. Having a nanny is too luxurious. Lin Wanner shook her head and then changed the subject. By the way, I haven't asked you yet. My impression is that your family background is average. Why do you suddenly live in such a nice villa? Lin Wanner wanted to ask before saying this, but she didn't have the nerve to ask in front of so many master workers. My parents have always raised me in poverty since I was a child, and were worried that I would be a bad student. They didn't let go of their restrictions until I was about to graduate from college. Lu Jiuzhang told a lie casually. Are there still parents like this today? Lin Wanner murmured to herself. But it's good. If you are too young and mentally immature, if your parents give you too much money, you will easily learn bad things. Lin Wanner didn't pay much attention to this matter. Whether she has money or not, what she values is not Lu Jiuzhang's money. Didn't she also play with Lu Jiuzhang when Lu Jiuzhang had no money? The look in your eyes just now was quite domineering. How should I put it? It felt like your domineering power was leaking out, Lin Wanner said. Lu Jiuzhang was indeed charming at that moment. Until now, when Lin Wanner thought about it, her heart was still a little agitated. At that time, Lu Jiuzhang didn't take Boss Wang seriously, so he acted quite domineeringly. After all, with the system in hand, Lu Jiuzhang was confident. You fell in love with me so quickly? Lu Jiuzhang laughed. If I want to love you, I have to examine you again. Lin Wanner blushed and glanced elsewhere. I'll treat you to dinner later. Lu Jiuzhang said, I have to thank you very much for helping me so much. Okay, then I will kill you severely this time. Lin Wanner said. Previously, she was worried that Lu Jiuzhang would have no money, so she asked Lu Jiuzhang to treat her to dinner in the school cafeteria. The food at school is cheaper than outside, and a casual meal only costs about 10 yuan. 2 people can survive for 20 yuan. Now that we know that Lu Jiuzhang is rich, he must eat and drink a lot. What do you want to eat? Lu Jiuzhang asked. Anything is fine, just pick one nearby. Lin Wanner picked up her phone and searched. There is a Cantonese restaurant with good ratings. Damn it. The next second, Lin Wanner was shocked. This is too expensive. A Cantonese restaurant costs 378 yuan per person. Forget it. Even though she knew that Lu Jiuzhang was rich, and she also said that she would give Lu Jiuzhang a good meal, this restaurant was too expensive, and Lin Wanner felt that it was not worth it. What can't you do with this money? I changed to a Shanxi restaurant, and it cost 427 yuan per person. Hunan cuisine, 398 yuan per capita. Lin Wanner looked at a dozen restaurants and found that the prices were not cheap. No wonder. These restaurants are located near the wealthy areas of the ancient capital, just to serve these wealthy people. How about we go to the city? Lin Wanner said. The urban area is lively, and there are many types of food. Let's eat nearby. Don't worry, this little money won't cost me enough. Lu Jiuzhang said, as if he saw what Lin Wanner was thinking. I'm not worried about this, but I always feel like we're being ripped off, just like taking advantage of us. Even though the types of food are similar, we still charge so much. Lin Wanner explained. It's okay, just try it out. Lu Jiuzhang boldly took Lin Wanner's hand and walked towards the restaurant. The restaurant is located in the community and is only open to the rich in the community. There is still some distance to go from here. As soon as the two of them walked to the door, Lu Jiuzhang saw an acquaintance. Sister Chun. Lu Jiuzhang smiled and greeted the rich woman. Yesterday, this rich woman offered Lu Jiuzhang a high salary of several million a year, hoping to make Lu Jiuzhang her little nanny. Although she was rejected by Lu Jiuzhang in the end, Sister Chun is a good person. Thinking of what happened yesterday, Sister Chun was still a little embarrassed. After coughing twice, Sister Chun said, Are you here for dinner? Later, Sister Chun saw Lin Wanner beside her. She had seen a photo of this woman in the car yesterday, and Lu Jiuzhang showed it to her. Seeing it again at the scene, Sister Chen couldn't help but be slightly surprised. She was really beautiful. And that kind of temperament and the aura of youth is difficult for her to possess. So pure. Sister Chen smiled and said, "Is this your little girlfriend?" Sister Chen, "I'm still in the process of being evaluated." Lu Jiuzhong pursed his lips and smiled, "But I am confident that I will pass the exam sooner or later." Haha, the young man is really good at playing, and he even set up an assessment period. Sister Chen was amused. When we first met, there was nothing to give. Sister Chen took out a card from her bag and said, "I have several beauty salons under my name, all of which are of good quality. This is the beauty salon's membership card. It has a limit of 30,000, which you can use." This membership card was naturally given to Lin Weiner. 30,000 yuan is a small thing. The main thing is to make friends with Lu Jiuzhong. I thought he was just a young guy, but who knew he had a good background? There may be something useful in the future, so making good friends in advance will also lay the foundation for future cooperation. Sister Chen, this gift is too expensive. Lin Weiner didn't dare to accept it. Take it, this is Sister Chen's wish. Lu Jiuzhong advised him, but he thought it was nothing. In the past, when I had no money, I was embarrassed to ask for gifts that were too expensive. Because after you receive a gift, you have to return one of equal value. How could Lu Jiuzhong pay back at that time? It's different now. I have money in my hands and no panic in my heart. A man's face comes from money. It's only 30,000 yuan. Take it. No matter how beautiful a woman is, she still has to take care of herself from time to time. Sister Chen said, "Those big stars, if they don't have jobs, they can't wait to spend all day in the beauty salon. So, we must not treat ourselves badly."